Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. And folks, we are participating in a tradition that was started many, many years ago. It is once again time to highlight that it is a multiple of a certain number. It is time for episode 69. I'm John. I'm here, and hope that didn't screw up my voice for the rest of the episode.
You okay?
Yeah, it might have screwed up my voice a little bit.
Oh no!
I'll be okay though. I'll be okay. Yeah, I'm drinking water. I have a big old thing of the thermos of water here. It's delicious water. All right. Yes, Scott, you are here.
I am here. Thank you so much, John. I'm very excited. I haven't done a 69 before, and I'm so excited to I've been here for a while, and all of these 69s have come and gone, and I've wanted to be one since like the first one I've been here for, which I think was 69 too, which conceptually is very funny to me. But now I'm finally here, and I'm finally excited to do my first 69.
I'm very happy for you, because we're happy to have you. We're welcome to anyone who wishes to participate, and to round off our group here, to discuss
our panel of experts.
Our panel of experts, if you will, is Elvie.
Hello. Yes. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Scott's here for your first one.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Wow. Okay. I think I have done the last one. I think I was on the last one. I don't know how long ago what that one is, or what the specific number was.
It's about a year and a half
ago. It was 69 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's experience.
Yes, it is. It always is. Folks, before we get into the tradition, the what you came here for, we are going to talk a little bit about video games. This is a video game podcast. And there was some important news that went on, and we are going to talk a little bit about what we played, and then we will get to the nitty-gritty, if you will. Scott, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's been going on over in your neck of the woods? What have you been playing?
Esports land?
Yeah, the real esports. The real esports.
The true game that everyone's playing right now. So there is a really, really good, incredible game out there right now. It is called Nerds Online. I don't know if you're aware of this. I know you are, because you've seen me do this. But Elvie, are you aware of this?
No, I'm not. What is that?
Okay, so it's a game by Zachtronics, which are the people who do a lot of those hacking games. Very incredibly in-depth systems-driven kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Very dense. Yep.
This game is a competitive multiplayer solitaire.
Oh, wait, yes, I've seen this. Yes, I think you even shared it before.
Yeah,
I have not seen it in action. Have definitely shared it, but I've not actually seen the actual play of it.
It is incredibly stressful. It's really good. I'm having a great time with it. I really like just opening it up and just like getting in there and playing it for a while. But basically it's everything you expect on the box. So it came out, and it didn't have the online ranked feature, or there's no rankings, of course. It's all just you get in there and play, but it didn't have the online matchmaking yet. And over the last few weeks, they finally added it, and I've just been going so ham. It's just I now that I'm here, I don't know how to accurately explain it in a way that makes sense, because the thing about Nerds is you just gotta be really good at solitaire. So there's a lot of things. So the way Nerds works is up to 6 players get into a lobby together, and each have their own solitaire boards. There's the pile to the side that you need to clear out is the objective, essentially. You want to clear that out as fast as possible while also scoring the most points, and you score points by making a play, essentially, putting a card in the discard pile. It is a big multiplayer discard pile filled with a whole bunch of different stacks that you can put them down on. like, you play solitaire, you start with an ace of a certain suit, and then you play like all of them until you like get all the cards on that pile. And the thing about it is you don't have your own discard pile. Everyone uses them. So even if you have a pile in front of you that is like your place where you've been putting spades, someone else can put a spade there. And like, you just need to pay attention to the entire board. It is so fast and so mean and so stressful, and I love it. It is pure like, what's the word for it? Like, what's the word for like that like feeling in fighting games where you're like, where you're not like playing the game, you're less playing the game and more like anticipating what other people are doing. Do you know the term, John?
Being scared?
There's a lot of that. There's a specific term for it. I can't remember it right now. Someone's gonna tweet it at me.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I'll remember it at some point, or someone will yell at me online. But
okay.
But it's basically, you can get in your own zone and try and play solitaire as best you can. But then there's the other aspect of like, I'm watching these other guys' boards. This guy is about to get a thing. What if I play this card on this spot the same time that guy was about to play his card? And you're just like, you're putting together these combos that you wouldn't normally put together in solitaire. It's like, it's beautiful. It's so, like, I had one moment where I had four spades on my board, and like they were all leading up to each other, and I was waiting for someone to put down like a 3 of spades. So, and I was just like saying, someone put it down, like just like waiting for someone to do it. And then they eventually do. Then I go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all while at the same time, everyone else is trying to play those cards on those spots at the same time. And it's just like, it's so beautiful when it gets pulled off. I've been thinking about it way too much. I've been like thinking about strategies of how to get better, like at solitaire, at just solitaire. That's what it is. There's nothing else like, it has its own unique metagame to it too. It's totally free. You should download it. You should give it a try. Please have fun with real esports. It's so good. It's really filled that same competitive niche in me that playing Halo online did, which is weird because it's solitaire. It's so strange. You look at it and you don't think it will be fun, and it's just the best time. Especially because solitaire is such a like almost universally known game. Like, you can, even if you don't necessarily know, even if you look at it and it looks like pure chaos, you can still understand the language of it if you've played any solitaire at all. It's fun. I like it. You should try it.
There are elements to it that remind me a lot of Spoons, or I know some other people call it Donkey, but like, it's also a card game where
right.
You're all using the same deck, and the idea is you're passing along the discarded pile constantly until you match up and you have to grab either spoons or some sort of like props in a circle, and if you're the last one out, kind of like musical chairs. So it's like combining a card game with musical chairs, and it sounds kind of like that. It's very it's like oh, it's just a simple card game using a standard deck. Like, what could go wrong? And it's actually a very stressful experience.
Well, the beauty,
and it kind of sounds like that. It has like elements of that, but it otherwise does sound like a solitaire game. It's that solitaire game with those like modifications, right?
The beauty of it is it's like, it's not everyone playing from the same deck. You have your own like full 52 card deck that you are trying to clear out. I see. It's like you are just playing a game of solitaire. And the thing I've discovered is like, when I initially started playing it, I kind of didn't think it was a very good, just like normal single player solitaire game, because what they'll do is like, if you don't make a move within a certain amount of time, you're like say you spend a few minutes and you haven't made like a play, it'll like reshuffle your deck, and then if it has to do that a couple times, then you just like, the game is over. So there's a timing element to it, but the more I've played it and the better I've gotten at just solitaire, I'll just like open up a private lobby and I'll just start playing normal solitaire by myself. I'm like going in the practice mode and like labbing solitaire. And it's like, it is actually genuinely pretty good for that. It's just, you gotta be able to keep up with its pace, because it's such a fast-paced game. I've eventually ran into people who sort of like don't play it the way you're quote unquote supposed to. Like, the way the game leads you to play it is, I need to clear out my nerds pile. And then once that's done, I hit the big nerds button and it yells nerds, and then the game ends. But what people have been doing in some of these lobbies I've been getting in is like, they'll get to the point where they can press the nerds button and win, and then they'll just keep playing. Like, they'll just keep playing solitaire. And then it's like, because I genuinely, like, if it's at that point and I'm still playing, it doesn't feel like if I get nerds, I genuinely win. So I'm not going to press my button. And then every other person in the lobby doesn't press their button. So it becomes like this weird communal thing where we've stopped playing against each other and we're all playing with each other to try and clear each other's decks out. And this one guy who is absolutely stomping all of us and is great at the game was just like, so the thing about this game is like, everyone can see your mouse cursor at all times.
Oh, okay.
Even in like the beginning area, even in the beginning time where it's like you get like a minute and it plays like the theme song and it's like hyping you up, and then like everyone's just like moving their cursors around and dancing with each other. In this like late game, everyone's like already gotten nerds and everyone's just still playing to gain points. This guy, who is absolutely stomping us, was just pointing to other people's decks, pointing at their cards, and then like moving his cursor over to like the part in the Discord pile where you could drop it. He was playing everyone else's solitaire games.
It reminds me a lot of, if you're in a group, if you're in a group trying to solve a puzzle,
yeah,
like literally just a plain puzzle. It sounds like it, at some point, games just reach that point where you just want to get it over with. Like, and then there's always that one person who, for some reason, decides to make themselves like a leader. Like, they start directing other people for some reason. Like,
I mean, he'd already won the game.
Why are you doing this? Yeah,
he deserved it. Like,
oh, okay. I mean, yeah, but it's very interesting. It kind of just.
It's very.
It has this. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, like this guy who's so good at this game, just like he finished his board and it's just like, okay, I'm waiting, and he's just like pointing at everyone else.
He needs something to do, yeah.
Yeah, he's done. He's helping everyone else out. And there's no like real point to it. Like there's no progression. He's just having fun.
Right. There's like no ranking.
Yeah, it's just like you get in there, you play some games with people, and then like the game technically ends when a single player gets 100 points. And that's like, that is the like hard cap to it. And there's nothing else beyond that. And that's the beauty of it. It's such a simplified thing that it's just fun to play. You're not worrying about like XP bonuses or like, I just want to play to unlock this new skin for my solitaire cards or whatever. You just play to have fun. And that's like a really, I appreciate any game that has that kind of like philosophy to it. And also like the reason it got made in the first place was like, this is a game that us at Zachtronics, like they made to play with each other internally. Like, right.
It started off as a thing amongst a group of friends and like, oh, we're just going to share it to the world. Why not?
Yeah, it's free. We'll eventually put on a matchmaking system in there, and then you'll just play with other people. It's great. It's a good game.
All right. I guess I have to ask, why? Do you know why they called it Nerds?
Yeah, that is a very strange name.
That's a really good question. I can't tell you right now. Like, I still haven't figured it out. All I can think is, like, the S at the end has to be solitaire.
Never-ending, terrible solitaire. Really terrible solitaire.
It's great solitaire.
Sure.
It's the most fun solitaire. The Nerds is in all caps, so to me it has to be an acronym.
You have to scream it.
Yeah, you have to yell
okay.
it. But
Nerds!
also, every time someone puts down a ace of a certain type of suit, the announcer will just yell out that suit, which is fun. If you manage to fill out the entire board, the entire discard board with aces, he goes, all aces, no spaces.
It's like a fighting game announcer.
It's really good.
But Nerd sounds like one of those toys you would see like heavily advertised in the late 80s, 90s. I don't know, like some sort of slime toy.
Right.
Like, yeah. That they like are heavily marketing towards like boys specifically. I don't know, it sounds like Nerf guns and not whatnot. Like,
Yeah.
some sort of like weird foosball thing.
It's Nerds or nothing.
It sounds like a weird made up word to sound gross or like edgy. But it doesn't sound gross. I mean, but it kind of has that weird association with that, right?
I do think it is funny that like the people who would probably be best at this are like grandmas and grandpas who've been playing solitaire for years. They'll just get online and stomp your ass.
Right.
Yeah.
If it does get bigger, I can see that happening. That would be really interesting.
It's free. You
Someone's
should download
grandparent
it.
just comes
Good.
up, ruins the game.
All right. Elvie, tell us a little bit about what's going on. I know that you dove back into the Steam festival that they keep doing.
they like do it like every 2 months. I'm like, why does this keep happening? Or maybe it's just me like noticing that they keep doing it and the frequency of them doing it because there can't be physical game festivals right now, right?
Yeah.
But the latest one, I don't know if it was like kind of the biggest one they've had up to this point in the past 2 years. And it was not really themed against anything. Usually they theme it against like a season or a holiday. This one isn't. They're just like February Steam Game Festival, which just kills me because it's like, okay, you're just doing this for the sake of doing this. Which is fine because I genuinely, I think these have been really helping, especially more independent games. At least I don't know if it's really heavily algorithm based, but I'm getting like more suggestions on those sorts of games.
Mm-hmm.
Less on like big AAA budget games, which no, they still of course heavily promote first. Those are the games that are pushed at the top of the front page of the storefront, where like, oh, here's this huge discount. Like their daily deals thing is like a big thing, right? Like, oh wow, this game that came out like 2 years ago is like 80% off, insane. And really the lure of like for independent games is that like, oh, like a lot of them are push out these demos to play. There are apparently, according to like some press material, 500 demos that were available to play around this time, which to me is kind of nuts. And I guess to kind of go into my like big issue with these like online game shows that are being put out like by these bigger companies compared to like more independent shows and more smaller collectives that have been running game shows like online the past year or so. That they're just, I don't know, they feel they're still stressful. They still have the issue of being stressful as they would be if they were still an in-person event.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as like it's nice that they're still convenient and like, oh yeah, I can just sit here, not really go anywhere. I'm not like running around to go to a panel or not waiting in line to play something. I can just go on my own terms. They still are like very stuck against a deadline and they're still very temporal, which I think is the issue. So like the moment like all this stuff is done, like none of these, like a lot of these demos are now no longer available to play, or like, yeah, like for Steam specifically, their whole lure is that they're promoting sales. Like, oh yeah, those sales are done. That's it. And some people are just going in on them for that reason. But compared to like a lot of like smaller game shows where I took part in and attended, a lot of them like outright like they say like, oh yeah, don't worry, we're gonna archive like these panels later, and they do that. They actually commit to that, and a lot of them feature stuff that are still playable, or like it's like they've been better at, I think, bridging communication between the attendee and like developers, and like they've been a little more accessible with that. But the whole thing is like, yeah, they've been good at archiving the event in some capacity right after.
Mm-hmm.
Where stuff like Steam, even PAX, like PAX Online, I tried to go through PAX Online, but it was a whole week. I don't know, they scheduled stuff across a whole week. That was really overwhelming, because then I have to like keep track of that.
Yeah.
But they had, and they had like a lot of very interesting presentations and panels and whatnot. But like after, but again, the issue is like, I can't go to all of that. I would like to go to a lot of these things, but I can't, because there's like a conflict going on. And like literally the event was taking place like in the middle of a work week.
Mm-hmm.
So like, unfortunately, only the PAX's official channels did not archive or save up and record some of those panels, which would have been nice. They only did a select few. But if you were to try to look for some of them, you would have to go through people's different individual channels. Like, say, the moderator or panelists, they have their own YouTube channel or Twitch, and they would probably archive it. But then you have to go out your way to do that. And, like, I didn't really see anything of, like, PAX following up on that, saying, like, oh, yeah, here, like, helping people to be like, oh, if you missed anything, here's what you can do. Like, I wish, like, bigger shows, like, understand that, like, quantity does not necessarily mean like a qualitative experience, which is what they seem to be doing, because everything's online. They're just packing it with too much programming, and I think failing to understand that people can't attend this stuff in time, just as like in person you probably can't go to probably can't travel to go to a con. And the same thing still applies here. People have personal schedules, and like the convenience of being online would be really, it would be helpful to actually take advantage of that and realize, oh yeah, we can like archive this stuff, or like there's a way to like even make this experience more accessible and easier.
Yeah. They're too stuck in their old-fashioned ideals, and they're not taking advantage of like all the things that doing this online, how it would help out. Like the tools at hand, like the media, like, oh yeah, like the medium they're using, like it's like I'm even thinking about like other cons and like other industries, like the anime cons. Like some of them were so bad at like, and the allure of those shows are like, oh yeah, like vendors and independent artists sell stuff at them. Like a lot of them have been so bad at like promoting that stuff. And again, like in comparison, even though in general like sales are low, because the whole promise of like people getting good sales online is very difficult, because again, it just feels like you're going to an online shop. There isn't like a lot of huge motivation to boost people wanting to buy stuff spontaneously, like on the spot, right? But some of them have been just really bad at like trying to boost artists. And again, the similar issue where like these big shows have too many events going on at the same time, and then they don't really bother archiving or helping people to kind of access that information after. But meanwhile, smaller shows have been doing a much better job in understanding that. Like it's a little more intimate, and that's been helping. Mm-hmm. But that said, I managed to play like a lot of games. I managed to be able to catch like a decent amount of demos during the Steam Game Fest. And again, I feel like there's something going on too, because it's Lunar New Year and there's like a jillion holidays this weekend. So I wouldn't be surprised if I check the front page and they have some other new special promotion going on. But yeah, maybe.
In reference to this thing that just passed like this past week, which went on like last week, there were two, a good mixture of like, oh wow, this was really good, I'm looking forward to it, and then a mixture of like, oh, this is bad, or stuff that's like I can't judge because it's probably just a bad demo. Like it's like they clearly rushed it, and that's what sucks, because it's hard to judge things as just a demo. But noticeable trends I think that might happen is that, so one, there definitely are a lot of like interesting responses post Cyberpunk 2077 specifically. So there's definitely like a huge surge of like independent games that are like, no, we can do this better. And yes, they are. there
was that
they are,
Cyberpunk
which is good
bundle that was got really, really good funding like not that long ago. It had like over 600 games in there or something.
Oh wow, yeah.
It was huge.
And there was even like a recent jam too that ended, which focused on specifically Asian creators making cyberpunk games, because of that, like that is an issue in regards to like how cyberpunk aesthetics tends to focus a little on dated Orientalist themes, like kind of like exotifying like Japan city landscapes, like and then just kind of just very like typecasting that sort of stuff, and it's not great. So there's been a lot of like great like responses to that in the independent scene. And one of the games that caught my eye was specifically, and it's really good. It's called Ano Mutation Nem. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know if this group has done other games, but it's really gorgeous. It's using this like 2.5 graphic style where the characters are like two-dimensional, but there's elements to the background where it's 3D. And from what I played of the demo, I'm not a little clear on the story per se, but what's going on is, again, like the whole premise is that, okay, the city's fucked up. That's always every cyberpunk. The city's fucked up. There's some weird shit. It's not great. Yeah. That's kind of the basis. Like the city, stuff sucks right now. That's kind of the basis of the genre, right? And then there are forces trying to work against that and work in the middle of it. And essentially the main character, I don't know if I misinterpreted, but she has some sort of disease. She has something called a mech disease. And I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Or mech illness. I don't know. It's like she has some sort of virus. And in the demo itself, we kind of get hints that there's something happened in her past. She might have been abandoned and whatnot. But nonetheless, she takes on like these jobs around the city and these different missions and like this huge metropolis. And she kind of has this like virtual assistant girl who works with her, and they kind of have this funny back and forth with each other. But and yeah, it seems like she's doing these like different hit jobs and like, stuff related to mercenary work or even just different side quests, working with this scientist who has developed this sort of like exoskeleton technology that, because on the site, I think he's helping her with whatever this virus is. So that's kind of like, I think that's what that relationship is. She has to do like these different things, going around the city and doing these different jobs because this guy is helping her figure out like what's the deal with her illness and maybe has some sort of connection with her past. Yeah, it's like it's I don't know, like my best way to describe it is like visually it kind of does look similar to like 13 Sentinels in a way. Again, it's like combining all these different like this very interesting 2D effect, these 2D styled characters. And then you're moving across an environment that's 3D. In fact, in a weird way, I can kind of compare it to like The World Ends With You. That like there's a new one coming, so I can kind of mention that. But I don't know if I don't know. It's just it's one of those things where you kind of have to see it. But it's doing a really cool effect where when it's a lot of the action is based around side scrolling. She's it's like a kind of like a hack and slash thing. She jumps into like the cyber suit, like her exoskeleton thing. And then, yeah, she can, she has a cool laser sword, and then she has a gun, like it has all that. And like, there's like very, very minute platform elements to it that I think will come up. But other than that, it's like, it was a very brief experience, so I can't really comment on it further. But it's very promising. And right now it doesn't seem, and again, like, I think the demo was really only available during that time, but I do highly recommend looking it out, looking into it, because it feels very promising to me so far. Again, it's like an action adventure thing, a lot of RPG elements. I don't know, it just felt good. It just felt like a very polished thing that might have a lot of hours to it that you can play on later on. The other game that stood out to me the most was way more simpler to this, and it's literally just a Rhythm Heaven level. And it's called Kovacs Pitch, or Kovacs. Yeah, Kovacs, like Vox. Okay. Yeah. All right. And it's literally just a baseball rhythm game. It's the same thing over and over again, and I really dig it. I'm like, I was playing it, and there's nothing to this, and I was like, why am I so blown away by this? Maybe because it's just nothing else. It's just a very simple premise that I was like, this is refreshing. Like, finally, there's a game that's just nothing, and I can do nothing, and I just have to play it mindlessly and only focus on one task. But yeah, it's literally, you're just a kid who he has to like swing his bat against all these baseballs shooting at him. It's like a baseball like machine. I don't know why he's doing this or what his motivation is, but that's that. And you're doing it to the beat. And there's like basically like you basically you basically just do it to the beat, and it's great. The music is great. It's kind of like, I don't know. The game itself describes its music as post-punk, but I don't think that's accurate. It's kind of like an interesting mixture of like very synthy, kind of the sort of relaxed music, lo-fi stuff you kind of still hear around and still popular. It's in that vein, but weird. It's very good in how it really goes along. It really syncs up to the music in regards to like, when the ball like starts flinging at you, but then it starts like reaching a point where the song stutters a little bit, and the ball does that. The ball's like, they stutter too, and like I don't know. I think it's taking a very simple premise, and actually doing a lot of subtle things that like that make the subtle things that make a rhythm game feel good, where it's like, oh wow, yeah, like it just hits. I think this is a juicing game. I'm just saying no, friend.
Yeah,
this is a juicing game. But yeah, it's just very relaxing and it feels good. That's all I can say about it. It's really just a rhythm heaven level, but it's the whole game. I mean, there are other things to it where, I mean, no, there really isn't a lot to it. It really is just, that's all I can say about it.
Of course.
It's like what is complex about it? Like, oh, you sometimes you have to move in the background. That makes it hard, but that's that. It's just, I don't know. I'm very excited for this very, very simple thing out of everything. I just want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, also a fun thing to look into. The music in it is really good. I don't know if it's stuff that has been originally composed for the game or from existing groups, but I should definitely look into it.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
I have been extremely busy this week, so I've been barely playing any games. I did start messing around with Mega Man Battle Network 5 because Rose and Wheels were yelling at me to play it. And it's Mega Man Battle Network, with the 5th one on the DS. It's the one that has both of the Game Boy games built into it. Isn't that exciting? It's ever so slightly different. You battle different robot masters.
I like to battle robot masters.
If you do, you should try Mega Man Battle Network.
That's insane. I'll do it.
All right.
Does it literally replace those characters? It changed.
It swaps.
Characters?
Yeah, it just swaps out some of the characters. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's all it does.
Oh, it just. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I don't think they're
differences.
Yeah, they're not necessarily plot relevant or anything. I think the plot is the exact same. It's just okay, instead of fighting this character, you fight a separate one, and that's it. That's all that's different. It is a Team Colonel and Team Proto Man. I know who Proto Man is, but I don't know who Colonel is.
That's messed up. You should have read the lore.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not familiar with Mega Man Battle Network lore. I feel like once Wheels and/or Rose hears this, they will easily be able to run me through the full history. But yeah, I don't know shit about it. I mean, this is the second Mega Man Battle Network game I've tried. I've tried 3, which is the exact same kind of game. It's just, a different story. People really like Mega Man Battle Network, and I'm not saying this to be super mean, because look, I play Pokemon, I get it. But they really did release that same game 6 times. It's the same gameplay.
I remember enjoying playing them, but yeah, I have not retained anything whatsoever about my experience with it. I just remember enjoying it, and those were games that felt and looked good. But no, I have not. I can't tell you what happens in them. I'm going to be honest. I think the details I remember are very spoilerish. I'm not going to talk about it. Very, very, very spoilerish. But other than that, I just remember having a good time with them.
Yeah, they have a fun, cute dynamic. It's just it's very early aughts shonen, which I guess makes sense since they did make an anime.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah,
I remember watching that too.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. That's all it is. It's okay. It's no harm, no foul. I guess we can start going into the news though. And speaking of things that are harmful and are foul, do y'all remember a game that got announced 11 years ago called 6 Days in Fallujah?
Oh boy. Not particularly. Why is that, John?
Well,
why would that come up now in 2021?
Well, to remind you of what that was, it was a game that was announced by Konami a long time ago, and it got such bad backlash that Konami dropped it.
I wonder
no,
why.
We're not going to do it. Yeah. Said, no, we're not going to do this. And now, again, 11 years later, it's back, and yeah, so originally it was going to be, so here's the thing. We don't know too much about what the original version of the game was, but there was some talk that it was going to be a lot more of a condemnation of what occurred in the 2004 Second Battle of Fallujah, which was a battle that occurred in Iraq during the highly illegal and awful Iraq War. And, it seemed like it was going to be more of a condemnation than a celebration of said event. I feel like back then it was maybe a bit... Look, times have changed. People have gotten a lot smarter. And it was a lot more difficult to critique the U.S. military, I feel, a long time ago. At least, maybe that was how it seemed to be, because, there was also a lot of folks saying that
there's not to just like jump in here, but it's like there were definitely a lot of people who were against the Iraq War, who were very publicly
of course,
vocal about it, but yeah, it was sort of pre the social media boom, pre the sort of like new wave of leftism, which like really got a lot more. I don't want to say more people, because it makes it sound like now everyone is a socialist, which is unfortunately not totally true. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it's a lot more accepted now than it was like in the early 2000s or in the 90s.
I definitely remember people, even though like there were people vocal about it, those people either were criticized for that,
Yeah.
Like I clearly remember the whole debacle about like musicians like getting shit for being vocal about it. The Dixie Chicks thing was the most. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that sticks in my mind to this day. Like, that is insane. And again, I get the added layer that these women have the audacity to criticize the Bush administration. I clearly remember that. It was just, you were more prone, you were more vulnerable to scrutiny, I would say, if you were very, like, vocal about that stuff. But you were still allowed to do that, but, like, you were more at risk of getting into some shit for it, right?
Yeah.
Especially people still, at that time too, like, again, the whole, like, fervor of people still reeling from 9/11, and that, I think, even then, even those people now who might be, like, who might have evolved their opinions, like, now, and, like, are more critical about these things and more nuanced about these things, I wouldn't be surprised if those same people back then were probably someone who was more sensitive to that stuff, and who were like, no, you can't do that, that's, like, too far, you can't criticize it, you're right. There was there has been like a collective, I think, evolution and growth, I think, with many people. But in general, because of that, like back then, it does, I think, show a reflection how in general it was kind of a little dicey to even talk about that stuff.
Mm-hmm. So, this was going to be something that was, back then would probably be a pretty bitter pill for a lot of folks to swallow if it was going to be more of a condemnation. And, there was a lot of like...
Sorry, I don't even necessarily know if that's true, but it's... Because there were a lot of... Because one of the reasons that, like, this game never got made was people went, dude, the fucking Battle of Fallujah had a huge civilian death toll. Like, this is not something you should be making a game about, even something that is, like, condemning of the Iraq War, which is...
Yeah, that was the thing... That was the big argument.
Never got made.
Yeah, that was the big argument. There was still a conversation that this was back when it was still like a big argument to talk about our game's art. Where people were still trying to like nail down what is okay and what isn't okay to talk about in a video game. And of course, I feel like there are absolutely multiple valid ways to make a video game about this event. Like, there absolutely are ways to present this in a playable fashion, but making it an hoorah military game that is just supposed to be you playing as the dudes going in and killing a bunch of civilians, that is not exactly showcasing anything that is positive, even if it is trying to be a condemnation. So now we're in 2021.
We honestly don't know what that game would have looked like.
Yeah, there's talk, but there isn't like official confirmation. But in 2021, we are now getting a version of this game for some reason that is in development as a tactical military shooter that is very, very obviously being made because the military is having record low recruitment, and they want people to see how badass it is to be a soldier. And that is why this is happening. It's bad.
Probably also, like, you know, in terms of just like historical precedents, like this, the original announced version of this game probably would have like followed the second Battle of Fallujah, which has, you know, an embarrassingly high civilian death toll. This game is probably going to be more focused on the 2016 Battle of Fallujah, which has an even higher civilian death toll. So that's not good. Don't love that.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I do know that this is bad. I don't need to think about that for very long. That this is not something that should be existing at all at any time. Of course not. Yeah. But,
anything that's like valorizing any kind of Bush era and further on military occupation, even anything before that, Vietnam, I can't right now.
Yeah, no, understandable. So, really, all I would say is that this is a bad thing. A lot of people are very vocally upset about this, but at the same time, it feels like this is already something that's kind of just gonna happen, because they've already announced that it's coming out this year, and, it's fucking bad. It's really fucking bad. I don't know.
I think my thing about it is that it's not, I think especially with this long-standing history it has and already, like, the reaction to it, I can't imagine it not appealing to anyone beyond exactly what the demographic you would think would play this.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine, like, unless they, I don't know, as we're going to go down the year with other game showcases, like, whatever this virtual E3 would be, that's a terrifying prospect to think about. But I can't imagine it, like what is it going to show to reel someone in?
Sure.
Like, it's like, what's it going to do to distinguish itself from? Because this is not attached to any, like, known big first-person shooter franchise or anything.
Right.
So I can't imagine, like, what is this going to appeal to someone who is just okay with those series, who's a big fan of, like, COD or, like, etc.
And the thing about...
like, what is this going to do?
Yeah, the thing about the newer Call of Duty, which is centered around the Cold War, like they managed to make that game appealing just through, like, the normal COD showpiece, like, we're gonna go extra balls out, fucking nutso crazy, and while like, of course, while still, of course, like, minimizing the, like, the horrid nature of the U.S. in the Cold War, but like. But like the focal piece around that is just like COD is a fun game to play, and a lot of people just like to play it. And we don't necessarily know what this game is going to look like, how well it's going to play. Right. And the thing is, a lot of major companies are trying, I don't know why, but they still try to chase that, like, rah shooter thing. Mm-hmm. And it's largely, this is entirely speculative. Don't take this as like total 100% confirmation, but like usually any kind of game that is like in that realm has some kind of US military, like, funding behind it, Mm-hmm. Like, they want to create propaganda in order to make you more interested in joining the military. That's why they started the US Army Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
It's eating its own tail. It's trying to, it wants to, there's not much more I can say about it other than that, but it's probably a safe bet to guess that if they are trying to make a rah propagandist militaristic version of fucking the disgusting things that the U.S. military has done in Iraq, in Fallujah, that probably has some kind of funding behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Just my guess.
All right. Well, yeah.
Let's get back to the horny episode, man.
Yeah, there's some other stuff we gotta go over real quick.
We can't be horny yet. Oh no,
not yet. No, you have to wait. You have to wait.
We have to build it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be fair, like that was like kind of the most serious thing. I think from here it's uphill. Right?
Yeah.
If we do argue.
Also, Spec Ops: The Line exists, and you know what? People have very solid like criticisms of that game, but I still think it is, as far as like really good condemnations of the U.S. military in game form, you cannot get more condemning than that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did its job.
Yeah.
I think ultimately though, at the end of the day, it's really about, if there are games or any sort of media that needs to explore and unpack these things, it should not be, we should stop having, or at least less of it. We should have less narratives that put you in the perspective of the soldier, you know? We need to see the other side. We need to see diverse perspectives of like, yeah, these cultures being terrorized, like these like the people who are being subjected to this, and like what was that like, and like what was that impact, right? So that's what we need to see more of, really. And there are games that do explore that already. You know, you unfortunately just have to find them. It's a little difficult.
Yeah, like this War.
There's
like
work out there that's just, you know,
Hearts.
also
There's a lot of stuff out there.
Right, yeah, and then, you know, there's probably just some work that unfortunately is not in English, but there's definitely like a lot of pieces of art that explore these things, so it's just something you have to seek out, you know. It's there if you want to experience that and understand those perspectives.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, LV, you have pretty much the rest of the news all tied up.
I guess I'll start off with you know, something that's more personally, but oh, okay, Spiritfarer is having some new updates, and that's very fun. Even though it's like a game that does kind of, I mean, it's a game that does have a fixed story. There is an end to it in a sense, but it is also just a very flexible game you can kind of go in and out of. So in a sense, even though you quote unquote completed the game, there is still like a lot of wiggle room in terms of like you can just still do stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So it basically Thunder Lotus, the developers, they announced like, oh, we're going to add new characters you can deal with, and there's some other quality of life improvements, and just overall more content. And what's key to me is like, again, I don't want to go into like spoiler stuff, but some other stuff is like even fleshing out more story content, where there's like a lot of parts to Spiritfarer that are very ambiguous and vague to it. So I think they've added more like dialogue and some scenes where they could clarify on some things. And I think their social team even responded in regards to, you know, a couple of criticisms in regard to one character where their backstory involved them having a disability, and hopefully like adjusting the language around that, where oftentimes, we that's still an issue where like characters with a disability are often like self-victimized and upset at their disability, when in reality, no, we need to see more perspectives on like, that's just what they have. We need to stop making them like, we need to stop framing them having a tragedy around the disability, right? So I believe that's something that they're also still working on. But really, that's kind of just it, really. Like, but one of the characters that caught my eye, and like Solon loves this character already, just seeing it. But there's like a character that like they're only active around night. So yeah, like again, like it's a management system game, so there's like a day and night cycle, and like yeah, these people, these characters that you run into, and like have them board on your boat as you travel around. Like yeah, they sleep at night. But apparently, this one particular character doesn't, and they have she has this little glowing flower thing that helps you like navigate around nighttime, and it's very cute because she actually seems to be this like, I don't know, amorphous thing. She like most of the characters are basically anthropomorphic animals, and again, these characters are just souls. Like the anthropomorphic animals, they are like representing like this sort of vessel that their personality is. You know, it's very like allegorical in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And this new character just seems to be like a bundle of like flowers. Well, actually butterflies. It's actually like she's like a bundle of butterflies that forms into this like cute little round little being. and they kind of look like a bush of flowers. And like at the center, she's holding this like what appears to be like literally a lily. And yeah, that's the stuff that sort of guides you along the way. But yeah, this game is very good with its character designs. I think it does such a good job with that on a visual level. And yeah, like, I'm very looking forward to what this could be. You know, again, it's not this. You know, it's just adding more content to the game. Nothing beyond that really. And I'm very excited to probably jump back into it when it does get the stuff does get added. As far as I know, it's yeah, I don't know if it's not even necessary. Yeah, oh yeah, it's not even like it's free. It's free updates. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's important. That's an important detail to know. It's just free updates. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
that's
like
exciting.
3 pieces of DLC, right?
Yeah. So like a new character per season. It seems like so this Lily character will be in spring and later in summer another round and then fall another round. So it's like, oh wow, okay, cool. It's exciting. And I think that's enough time too in a sense of like this is a game you do want to take time in anyway. So I think that fills the gap, right? It doesn't feel like, oh, you have to wait too long for something new to happen, right? So yeah, very exciting. And I hope more people play it. It's very good. In regards to like other stuff that's been happening, I think I'll save the funny one for last.
Nah.
Yeah. So this is something that literally dropped today. So this might be something developing even further, and I don't want to fully like again. We are experts here. We're the horny experts here.
Of course.
This is the horny council,
yes.
I guess, right? But but I also don't want to like make declarations on things like labor law. Please look up like, please look up guild like and legal stuff. You know, like look up actual stuff in regards to this. I don't want to declare anything, but like this news literally dropped today that there has been discussion over whether or not like content creators online, like people with big platforms specifically, so people who have been, you know, have huge verified accounts to the point where they might be considered an influencer, right? You know, so this would include Twitch streamers, people on TikTok. They can potentially at some point qualify for union benefits, maybe. And again, this is like a discussion, and this is something that's in a debate right now, and specifically under SAG, which is known as the Screen Actors Guild, and they are like one of the most powerful union shops in the entertainment industry. They base like pretty much almost any like actor you can name. They 50% chance they're under SAG. Mm-hmm. They are working under SAG. They're represented by SAG. So I think that like makes sense. Like that makes sense to me personally. Like yeah, these are artists. Like these are people making stuff like hours. You know, whether or not you agree with them or like the kind of work they do. That just makes sense to me. Yeah, you make stuff, you're a creative, you're an artist, and you should have a right to like representation because that's work for you. My big thing on it is that I feel like this is happening though, and talking to other people who have been sharing me some information on this, a little more context is this might have been in response to the Twitch stuff that's still kind of a little ongoing, like their issue with not, you know, managing the music licenses properly, and like, you know, it's like hurting individuals, and right. Twitch is not taking responsibility for it, and even other platforms too where that has been an issue because yeah, more and more things again are like transitioning to taking stuff online. So for instance, like there are theater productions who are like putting up plays temporarily online and whatnot, like whole plays, whole musicals. Some studios or other production collectives are just putting whole movies online and whatnot. But then, like, when you start talking about, like, unions, that actually does get into iffy territory that I think has not really been thought of before, explored before, because of things that have been going on, because of, basically distribution rights, I guess, and, like, you being in this thing that even though it's not going to be online for a long time, like, what does that mean? And, like, are you going to be compensated for that? And so, like, in regards to theater, for instance, it gets really tricky when you have a mixture of actors who are not in a union versus being in a union. Like it's a whole complicated thing I can't go into, but that's why like some touring productions always have issues in regards to that because of the different things in regards to, someone in a union has different demands for like the sort of hours they want to be paid for versus someone who is not. And stuff like a touring production, like, can be really grueling. In a way, they kind of have more hours they have to work on because they have to travel too. And then all that, they have to go to like state by state to do like a production, right? So like, is like, how does that work how does it work? Like, if you have to travel, you cover traveling costs for like, if not everyone in the collective is in a union, right? Or like, what are those terms, right? So this sort of thing, I feel like this sort of thing has only been happening because of stuff like the pandemic's, like, the pandemic responses to, like, taking a lot of, like, entertainment online. And, like, what does that mean now? And SAG 2 specifically was actually one of the organizations that really got upset at Twitch because of their mishandling of music licenses. Because, again, like the use of audio, and I think even some music agencies and organizations were like, what the hell is this, and whatnot. And basically, but, they were speaking on behalf of, like, the people in their shops. Like, they were like, listen, you're letting this happen. They're not really fighting for, like, I guess the content creators, but they were more so upset that, like, listen, there's, like, all this, like, plagiarism going around and whatnot, like, at least their claims of it, and then, meanwhile, their actors or their musicians are not, like, getting what they should be getting out of it, right? They're not getting the royalties, so again, this is very interesting. I personally agree with, like, at least the idea that, if you make something, you have a right to labor representation. It is labor, especially if this is something that's your full-time job, actually. If you're a full-time streamer, that makes sense to me. And you have a right to that. So yeah, it's very interesting how this is going to move forward, especially in regards to, like, again, what remains to be the battle and issue with platforms not doing their job in licensing and protecting their users. Again, the Twitch thing, that's still not a resolved thing. So interesting. And speaking of things that are still not ending, coming from 2020, CG Project Red still bringing gifts into 2021 with bizarre things that seem to be even extending beyond their game at this point. Or I could say maybe, oh my gosh, I don't know. This is a very cursed game even beyond the game itself at this point. It is causing problems even beyond the scope of what the game is.
For sure.
They are saying that a bunch of hackers might have gotten the source code for some of their games, like, so including The Witcher 3, actually. So, like, so they got it's like a ransom note. Basically saying that, like, these hackers got the source code from stuff like Cyberpunk 2077, and whatnot, and that they're auctioning it off to, like, an unknown buyer. And I don't really know what to say about that beyond that the note that they have received kind of is a lot. It seems fake, but also I don't know. I'm looking at it right now. It's like on a notepad. I don't know why is it on a notepad document?
Probably because, like, they just, like, left a notepad file just there.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. That's not unusual.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be honest.
There's a lot of typos in it.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't fully believe this. I think
yeah, right?
I 100% believe it. Like,
I don't think if it was real, I don't think they would have posted the ransom. I don't think they would have posted it so publicly. I think if it was real, the people that took it would have, like, posted about it, and that's how it would have gotten out. I don't think, like, posting about, like, source code getting stolen on your main Twitter account is something that you would just do. Like, that it seems like it's I think it's just a fucking like an AstroTurf. I think it's fake.
I don't think so at all. Like, one, there's nothing for them to gain out of that. Two, like, okay, so I don't work in fraud right now, but I have worked in frauds for a while, and I have, like, a pretty good amount of experience with, like, dealing with hackers and, like, the kind of and dealing with hackers and, like, looking up stuff like big data breaches, stuff like that. I feel like I have a pretty good amount of insight into this kind of stuff now. The thing about this is, like, the reason they would post it is because it happened, and because in case any kind of actual data breach did happen, they would be ahead of it and ahead of the narrative. I 100% believe that they got hacked. They've gotten hacked in the past and done the same thing. It's like, it's sort of, I don't want to say a misguided, but it is a way to, like, sort of cover their asses publicly. They've done this in the past. They did it in 2012 as well. It's really weird. If you look up like the post, it's the same exact format, like for the image that they use, like the same letterhead and everything. But they obviously didn't post like a ransom note this time. But at the same time, like,
it's a really funny note though.
It is a strange note because it's like, here's the thing is like hackers are fucking corny,
Yeah.
Right. I highly recommend one to look up this note. Like, read it in the Riddler. Then read it in the not the Joker, not the Joker. I think this is a Riddler level, like.
Yeah.
This is a Riddler voice, not a Joker voice.
Yeah.
That could be someone else. But it's there's so many exclamation points. There are some typos. It's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with your mindset that yeah, people who do this stuff like for a thrill would be super corny and just don't have any subtlety whatsoever.
I imagine like their end goal was get as much information as they could, which probably meant like getting user information as well. But by the time they were in and out, all they really got was source code, which is not invaluable. Yeah. Like that is like really, really important to the structure of these games. And a lot of it is like very secretive, and a lot of like a lot of it is like very secretive, and they usually try not to let that kind of stuff get out there. The Witcher 3 especially is kind of a really funny one to me because that game is a fucking mess. I can't imagine that source code is like, anything anyone is super interested in, but it's valuable to CD Projekt Red, and that's what matters.
As far as they know, their employees' personal data has not been compromised. Like,
that's what they've said.
Of that being the case. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, that's what they've said. If that has happened, then if that has happened, then they would be less likely to say that kind of thing out loud because, like, even though they're trying to do it in quote unquote the interest of transparency, it is at the same time, like, if you say out loud, hey, your data might have gotten stolen, then people will sue you. Like,
right.
That's what happened with Equifax. And God knows those fucking settlement checks aren't coming because they've legalese their way out of needing to give anyone anything other than free credit reports. But it's such a like difficult thing to work around, and if you're a company like this and something like this has happened to you, there's no good way around it. It's like you either keep quiet and you either keep quiet and give in to hacker demands, which sends the message to hackers, these people will fucking bend over backwards for you. Let's keep fucking targeting them. Or you try and get ahead of it, try to control the narrative. And then, that also backfires because you're CD Projekt Red and you've made a whole fucking huge assload
you're at a disadvantage.
Horrible things that you've done. So people are going to go, haha, that's funny, you got hacked.
Exactly.
And it's like,
I wouldn't think this is funny if it was like someone else,
Of course not.
Right. I was like, oh, that sucks. And if employee data was actually compromised, yeah, that sucks. That wouldn't be funny, But so far there wasn't, and now we just have this weird dumbass
data, which
text
is very
doc.
important. Which CD Projekt Red, I don't think they really collect user data. I don't think they're in the market for that. Like, the games that they put out are like Gwent, which definitely collects user data, and The Witcher 3, which no, not really. Cyberpunk, not really. It's just there. Any user data that does exist probably isn't that useful, and there probably isn't that much of it. But if someone's passwords get out there, then those passwords are compromised, and then those people are gonna get hacked, and then they're gonna here's the thing about passwords: if you've ever had a password leaked, in any kind of data breach, any hacker, any low level biggest hype beast ass dipshit hacker can just access every single account you've ever had that uses the same password. So you want to be super careful with that kind of stuff. You want to use password managers. You want to use two-factor authentication on like your most important stuff. I use it for like, PayPal and like banking apps,
financials,
a lot of stuff like that for sure.
Yeah.
And don't change your passwords. Don't use one password for everything. You fucking fool. So many people do that. I don't want to say the name of the company I work for, but we've been having a lot of issues with fraud lately, in like 2 cities specifically, and because there are just like this group of these 2 completely separate groups of hackers in these different cities, probably the same group, who knows, but they are just like going completely ham, jacking people's accounts left and right, and just like absolutely just causing a huge headache for us and for the fucking customers who are getting their shit jacked. And it's not, and like the fact that it's happening to us on such a big scale is not because we've had a data breach, but because other people have had data breaches, and they have the same passwords on the same accounts, on the same emails as they do on ours, so they can just grab it, and then they could just grab a password email combination, try it on our site, and then it's like, oh, it works. I'm gonna do some fucking scams. And it's like, people, you have to fucking be better at your own personal security. We can only do so much for you. Oh, it is such a headache. It's a lot of this stuff is always difficult to deal with when you're on the, receiving end of shitty dipshit hackers.
So if you're hearing this, if your password is 1234, please address that right now.
Don't do
They're
that.
out there. They will get you.
Yeah.
And like even if you're like, no, I'm like broke as hell. Like, hey, we all are, but listen, you still have something valuable on you,
Hey, if you have Gwent, go change your password.
Right.
Also, the other side of this that we aren't really talking about is like the stuff getting leaked being source code is like obviously valuable to CD Projekt Red, not super valuable to other people, except in the case of like video game archives. Like that's like in that kind of situation, even though it is information that was obtained illegally, that kind of information is really, really invaluable for archival purposes. And I don't think that the hackers did it because, we need to protect Witcher 3 for the future generations. It's just like
to protect what?
They just got in and grabbed whatever information they could, but
yeah, these are not like Robin Hood.
Yeah,
for the archives. I think it. Yeah.
But like the scary thing that we see a lot is with a lot of games, a lot of like older games just completely phasing out in no way to protect that kind of information. The people who do the best job of archiving that stuff are pirates and are people who collect that stuff illegally.
Yeah.
And that is something we just can't, like, I'm not saying normalize stealing things from stealing source code from companies, but, there is a completely, there is a, like, optimistic read of this that maybe if sometime down in the future, when they completely shut down Cyberpunk, we'll still have that information somewhere on someone's hard drive.
If for some reason Cyberpunk 2077 is considered historically significant,
I wonder why that would be.
Don't worry. There's a group somewhere out there who took that data, and we gotta track them down. They got it.
For sure.
Even incidentally.
All right. Well, thank you for the interesting conversation. I think we're about to hit some different kind of interesting conversation because, folks...
Oh, we have to dim the lights.
Yeah, it's time.
I'm getting
Make sure the curtains are closed. Close the doors.
It's time, everyone.
Time for me to crack open a monster and let's fucking rip.
Yeah, let's go.
Put the blackout curtains. Don't let anyone see.
Grip it and rip it. Let's go.
Yeah, let's rock. All right, folks. It's time to answer some questions. If you want to send in video game questions, because you missed your chance. If you didn't send it in, you missed your chance. You gotta wait 1.5 years. If you want to send in normal questions next week, it's videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. But for now, let's go into the wildest, horniest, craziest possible questions. It is 69.5. Starting us off is Niall. Niall, thank you so much for writing in.
Our former friend, Niall.
Former friend. I'm still a
just
friend.
kidding. We love him.
We
Still
love
a
Niall.
friend.
We love Niall.
We love him.
Yeah.
Wink.
Niall asks, do you think Spawnwave, the YouTuber, makes the face that he makes in his thumbnails when he fucks?
I don't want to think about that.
I'm like a little bit familiar with Spawnwave. I think I need to see these thumbnails.
No, I've seen them before. If I'm not mixing
I
up,
need to.
it would
I
another.
would like to see them.
YouTube-
I mean,
if you
if
just
I'm not mixing this up with another YouTube, this is the same guy.
we have made jokes about him in the past, mostly in private, just because he looks like he looks like he's gonna shove his thumbs in your eyes in all of his thumbnails. Like he looks
upset.
He is so fucking pissed.
He's just staring at you completely dead-eyed. I'm looking at 2 thumbnails, which are him.
Is he not also jacked?
He is pretty jacked, yeah.
I can't tell from this picture, but I'm looking at like 2 of these thumbnails like right next to each other. They're clearly different pictures from like different periods of time, but he's posed slightly differently, and it's like I have to look for different details to even tell that it's a different picture because like the shirts are different, but maybe he could have photoshopped it. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, but I get what he might. Maybe it's like one before he got super muscly, and then the other one's like post muscle.
Yeah, he is pretty.
Oh no, wait, that's funny. That is strange. No, yeah, he has very broad shoulders because he's super muscly. Yeah.
But
he seems like the type of person who gets really red. I have not actually ever seen his I have not actually ever seen his videos, and I've only been seeing his thumbnails posted in our servers, and I'm like, wow, okay. But he seems like he can get really red, like just uncomfortably red. Like he needs to calm down after the fact. Like he needs to drink water, right?
Okay.
It's an exhausting act.
Yeah.
The orgasm is an exhausing moment. But he seems like he can get really red, but like in such a way that's a little concerning.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm inclined to believe that he absolutely just he is like just sitting there with that face the entire time. Like he's just like, all right,
dead-eyed.
Yeah, let's get this over with. Like I don't think he derives any kind of like pleasure.
I don't
or
think he says anything.
Yeah,
is the thing.
He just sits there.
Makes no noise. It's all action.
It's all action, and
I'm picturing. Okay,
yeah, he seems like he's probably not noisy.
I have this horrible vision in my head now, where he is making that face, and you are looking at him, and he is moving the face down to go down on you, and he has not changed his facial expression at all in the slightest.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's a situation you gotta get out of.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
That doesn't seem fun.
Like your fight or flight activates at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not in trouble, but you're not. I don't know if that's like a fun experience.
No.
Like that doesn't seem enjoyable.
No.
It doesn't. I think you're wasting your time.
Yeah. I think he has kids.
And not his fault.
I think he does have kids. So someone has done it with him at least a few times. So yeah. So
all right.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's evidence to suggest that yes, it has happened.
Yes. But yeah, the simple answer is yes, absolutely.
Hold on. He does make this slightly different face while he's sawing a Wii. He's just like kind of grimacing a little bit. It's like it's a little strange. So it's like
okay.
But now I know for a fact that he can make a second face.
Mm.
He used at least 2 expressions.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
But he is wielding a weapon, so
yeah. Right.
I can't tell what's going on this thumbnail. It just says Wii, and then it's pointing to a Game Boy box.
Oh, I think it's that thing where there's like a Game Boy like case thing that you can use, and you can like put a console inside of it, so I think he's gonna, like, have a portable Wii. I think that's what he's doing.
Okay, that makes sense. I just think it's funnier with zero context.
Yeah. Let's see here. Wideboy64 sent in 2 questions here. I'm gonna translate these a little bit here. Yeah, when consummating, which cereal mascot is the best to think about to really get your hog honking? I just read that. I just read that. I didn't translate it.
Well, there was that time where a lot of people were really fucking horny for Tony the Tiger. Like,
exactly.
People still are.
Right.
They had to.
People still are.
The official account had to block furries that were constantly mentioning it.
But it was like outright answering them, you know. So I don't know what they wanted.
I mean, yeah,
right?
he had to tweet like, "Hey, we appreciate how excited you all are, but like, kids, look at this account." Like, I mean, he said it more in character, you know. I think he was like, "Cubs are browsing" or some shit like that, you know.
Oh yeah, he
Cubs
said that.
browsing.
He said Cubs were browsing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, you know, I get it, but at the same, yeah, furries were just all over Tony the Tiger. But I think this is specifically asking which one is best to, like, really get you going. Like, would Tony the Tiger be the answer to, like, I don't know if this is a general question or if it's asking, like, us specifically. Cause I mean, I think it would be interesting to answer this as a general question. Like, which cereal mascot?
I don't know. We all have our own different tastes.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
See, I'm looking at them right now, and, like, the only one that's sexy is Tony. Like,
it's true.
Yeah.
He's the most palpable one. Yeah.
it's like I think Boo Berry would be a very, like, tender lover. Like, he would really be really attentive to your needs.
Yes.
But,
He seems
like,
nice.
But, like, you know, you think about him compared to Tony, and Tony is just like, oh my god, all, like...
The fucking Rice Krispie boys, do I fucking trust them? No! They seem...
No. But
listen, those boys...
They do come as a package deal.
Mm.
No, but look at them. They look like they say slurs.
Yeah.
they look like fat kids.
Yeah, no.
They absolutely look like the sort of shithead like college guy stereotypes. No, and in the commercials too, they like, from what I remember of the commercial, I have not seen like a recent one, but yeah, they seem nice, but they kind of seem like the sort of like boys that fool around and whatnot. Like, I don't want to deal with that.
No.
The Nestle buddy is kind of cute.
Yeah,
he's alright. He seems like a good twink. Now the Tricks Money, this guy's a fucking freak.
Not the Yoo-Hoo Rabbit.
The Nestle Yoo-Hoo. No. The Yoo-Hoo one is nice. Like, he's good. He seems like a nice boy.
Oh, the Tricks Rabbit. He's a freak.
This guy fucking...
Tricks Rabbit can't get hard.
He's naked.
Tricks Rabbit can't get hard unless you put 2 fingers up his ass. Like...
Well, okay. I mean... Yeah, that's fair. Like, that's fair, and that makes a lot of sense. I just imagine he's got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
He's constantly moving. It's like, I picture him as being a very frantic lover.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he's constantly tripping over the cereal he cannot have. There's something about that also is, what is that called? He is constantly, like, horny for something that keeps getting taken away from him. Is that, like, what is that called? Is that...
he's kind of chasing that dragon. A little.
Yeah, he's being dominated by a cereal. No, it's like, the more I look at him and the more I think about him conceptually, I do think there is something sexual about him. But it's so hard to wrap your finger around it.
Is he like kind of like Crash Bandicoot, where like he doesn't fuck, but he has a horny energy to him?
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, because I think he does. I think he does have sex.
The Tricks Rabbit or Crash Bandicoot?
Oh, the Tricks Rabbit, of course.
Okay.
Crash Bandicoot, never in his life.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't picture the Tricks Rabbit having sex with like a human person as much as like he would be doing it with another cereal mascot. Like that just seems like it would really fit his world, you know?
He's
like another cartoon
he's
character.
fucking he's fucking Sonny the Cocoa Puffs bird. Absolutely, yeah.
He's trying to find another freak like him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think what the hell is the name? Oh, I have to look up serial names now. Hold on. I got something.
Which one? Which one is it?
I think Cap'n Crunch likes to go online. I think he likes to respond to e-girls online saying, "Oh, that's a nice breast you have, sweetie." Like,
oh yeah,
oh no, he is definitely that squirt man.
Yeah.
He takes an inappropriate bad angle selfie and sends it unsolicited.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, he genuinely probably is actually not being rude. He probably sincerely thinks like, oh, this is a nice way to... He's not showing his dick or anything. No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
he's just sending weird pictures. He's sending unflattering pictures of himself that he thinks he looks handsome in. Like he's like holding... he just has like an unfortunate pose shirt that doesn't look really great on him, and he's posing, stuff like that. Awkward grandpa like photos.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that follows a bunch of porn stars on Twitter and just like tweets at them like lovely picture, young lady. Yeah,
he's not.
Yeah, a little young for him. Yeah,
he personally isn't doing anything sexual, but like he is.
He's just being like no etiquette.
He is a very attentive like daddy. Like he's definitely spending a lot of money. This is a really good excuse to post this picture again. Which is the Honey Nut Cheerios.
Honey Nut Cheerios, yeah.
And what else can you say?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's it. Alright, I guess we could move on to the next one that Matt here asked. Who, in your opinion, are the most and least sexual fighting game characters? On a related note, do you think Ryu knows what sex is? I think I talked about this recently just to answer the Ryu part. I think Ryu definitely knows, but just because, Ken was absolutely the kind of dude who, once they hit, puberty or whatever, Ken was like, hey, I smuggled in these Playboys or whatever. He's absolutely that kind of guy. But, Ryu definitely doesn't care about it. Ryu, he eats, Kellogg's cornflakes and, a whole potato anytime that any kind of horny even dares to get near him. He's transcended horny. Over the years, there's no way he doesn't get horny anymore.
Ryu will do it if someone calls it training.
I don't believe that. I think he knows. I think he'd be like, no, if I allow this into my life.
And I'm not saying he doesn't know. I'm not saying he's not being tricked or not consenting. But it's so you try to be normal horny to Ryu. And it's just it doesn't work. It's bouncing off of him. It's he's dodging it just Matrix dodging bullets. But then it's just hey Ryu, do you want to go get some training in? And he's and his fucking his heart shoot out of his eyes and steam comes out of his ears.
No, because then he would be like, this isn't training, this is sex, and then he wouldn't want to do it.
but I'm saying there's a very a very specific way in which this happens. I
don't believe it.
And he does think of it as training.
I don't believe that. I don't know. I don't think he would. But, I mean, I feel like...
See, here's the thing is, he definitely fits that kind of himbo thing. The character archetype that everyone likes to do, where it's it's this big doesn't talk very much, kind of not smart guy who's also huge, clearly doesn't know what sex is. It's I don't know, let these guys be sexual characters, It's funny to think that they don't necessarily know what sex is, but you know what? When Solid Snake was in Shadow Moses, he was trying to have sex with everything there.
Solid Snake. No, Solid Snake fucks. Big Boss does not.
Is that true?
Big Boss and Ava just rolled around on the carpet a little bit and he got tuckered out and fell asleep. That is 100% what happened.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. That's exactly what happened.
It doesn't necessarily have to be with Ava, though, is the thing.
I mean, you know, like, if it was with anyone, it was probably with, Miller. But, like...
Yeah, he's had, like, at least 4 different partners. So, it has to have happened at some point.
Or maybe Ocelot, yeah. But I don't know. I mean, maybe eventually he learned, but he definitely didn't know what sex was during the events of Metal Gear Solid 3. The boss shielded that
fair.
from him. Yeah.
My take on this is that Soul Calibur is super sexualized. Like the women designs are utterly horrible. Like they gotten worse every game. Yet no one in that game fucks. I am pretty sure no one actually ever. And the only time, excuse me, the only time ever sex is mentioned or like at least implied, it's in like a very bad, like unfortunate way.
Yeah.
Like it's from some not. You know, in spite of the fact,
I think at some point Sophidia did, but that was it.
Yes, you're right. She had but it's still debatable because no one's sure if that game where all their kids is canon anymore. No one's sure. So like, there's implication that their acts have been done, children have been conceived in that game, but does it matter anymore? I don't know if it's canon anymore. Still,
it really speaks.
It
really speaks to like male gaze versus sexualization. Like I watched a video recently on the sexualization in Bayonetta. Who's it by? I think it was Floundering Chipper. She's very, very small YouTuber. She's very good. Go look her up. Yeah. She did a video on how like Bayonetta herself as a character, even with like everything about her that is like sexualized and still something of like, still not entirely a like non-feminist like reading on sexualization, still never actually focuses on like what she like her own personal sex life and what she finds attractive and like, what's the best way of putting it? Like it is never necessarily in service of like Bayonetta as a character finding things sexual. It's more for the focus of male gaze.
Right.
Or just gaze in general. And that's that's sort of the prevalent ethos with a lot of sexualization in games, which makes a lot of it really terrible and not easy to stomach, especially when there's like sort of a pro-sexualization renaissance happening. Like, let people have sexy characters. Like, it's fine. Don't stress too much about it. But like, even so, a lot of it is just like the dude characters wear full body armor and the girls wear like breastplates and skirts, and it's like, you know, that kind of stuff. Right. That kind of stuff only is just focused on like one kind of fantasy.
Mm.
Yeah. Right, you have the character like Ivy, who was famously dressed the way she does. Basically, like just like it's basically like it's modeled literally after lingerie. It's just like some vague armor thing, but it's not really protecting anything. Yet her backstory is like she does not involve herself in any sexual relationship whatsoever. Like anyone, she's very detached from people. And she very much keeps to herself. It's like a thing explicitly said where that was key to her making the sword to begin with. Because if she actually like had like an intimate relationship with anyone, that actually would have been not possible to like have her make her weapon or something, or like tap it into the sort of like dark powers she kind of has and is able to use with a weapon. Yet she's designed the way she is. It's very contradictory, and in such a way where it obviously does not feel empowering. Mm-hmm. It really is like a male gazing. It does not feel like, she is owning up to that outfit. Like, no, her titties are just flying everywhere for no reason. And it's just comically bad. But then I think about something like Tekken where people generally look normal. Again, that's not a game I'm that familiar with, but like, it seems like that does a much better job with stuff like this. And like,
it's better, but it still has some like pretty bad,
issues.
Like,
oh yeah, I'm sure.
Overt sexualization.
Yeah. But so that's kind of my input on this, like, as someone more familiar with Soul Calibur, but like, there's tons of character designs where they're just so sexualized, but it's not all even done in such a way in the game where it just feels deeply sexless at all. Like, it just feels like a deeply impotent universe in spite of the fact that you have these women dressed in such a way that's supposed to appeal to the player. It's just very interesting. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It reminds me a lot of the issues in regards to like universes where you have you're thinking about like even like the recent trend of like young adult films, like with the superhero movies and you have these worlds and stories where characters are dealing with hard situations, and you cannot tell me not a single adult here is having sex or mentioning it or cursing, you know, and it's just funny. Like that there's that weird element that's missing that does not make sense at all. Because it's trying to appeal to a certain thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, you know, Iron Man does eventually fall for Pepper Potts, you know. Mm-hmm. It's such a rich and deep relationship.
Yeah. I mean, so I guess another one that we could bring up though is like Morgan, definitely. You know, like I think that would also be she's probably the most sexual character because like she is just a succubus. She's just like she enters the arena and she's basically just like,
oh yes,
hey, who wants to fuck? And it's like, all right, you know, good for you.
Good. Hey, mucho respecto to you. Keep going, girl slay.
Mm-hmm. But the least sexual fighting game character. Who's the least sexual motherfucker in the fighting game world?
God.
There's a lot of not sexy ones.
I mean, that is 100% what I was about to say. First thing that came to mind was Dan Hibiki. Like, he is not chaste. Like that guy absolutely wants.
He's a freak.
He wants to fuck, but he does not fuck.
Yeah, he a freak.
Yeah.
But it will never happen. Neko arc, I don't know.
Yeah,
there's so many like mascot characters that just don't do anything. Like fucking roll. I don't know. There's so many.
I mean, if we're gonna ignore like A, characters who should not be sexualized, and B, like just like dumb mascot characters, then like I
don't know. The bears in Tekken, those are definitely scoundrels. I do not. They definitely mess around with their own kind.
Not like sexual.
Panda, they are sexual. I think.
I mean,
They definitely are. They definitely mess around. Like King is the most sexual character in Tekken.
Yeah,
Tiger Man. Yes. Look at that.
Yeah, he's fucking. He's going for it.
He is, yes.
But yeah, I mean, like, I would almost want to argue that Ryu is up there. Like, I mean, like, I know that we're like starting up that argument again, but like, like he's just.
Dude, you forget that like phase where they had Ryu with a beard and everyone was going, dude, Ryu with a beard is so hot.
Yeah, like, but
you don't remember that?
No, I remember it.
Oh yeah. No, I remember that.
Horny for Beard Ryu.
No, but that's what I'm saying is that people were horny for him, but he did not do it to like he did not grow out his beard to be like, oh, this looks hot. Like, no, he was just doing that because he didn't shave. Like that was
well,
not.
Yeah, of course.
So like again, I feel like
I'm saying like even from a gazy perspective, like if you're saying most sexual character, like a character people find sexy can't be least sexual.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Okay. I mean, I was coming at this by just straight up like which character wants to fuck the most and which character wants to fuck the least, I guess. But like, again, then Dan Hibiki would probably be one of the most sexual then so I guess I'm kind of fucking up my own logic. I don't know. I mean, you know, there's that guy that's like the caricature of the Japanese comedian that was like the hidden character in Marvel vs. Capcom 1. That guy.
I almost said like Shogaroth, but then like I thought, you know, that's probably not true.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, Shumagaroth, yeah, absolutely, just tentacles. That's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, and everyone wants to.
Yeah,
of course.
Again, same issue. Same issue. All the Mortal Kombat characters are not immune to this. Unfortunately, people are into Goro, the multi, the guy with the multiple arms. People want that. Yeah. I'm like, I can't think of anything.
Also, I'm not super familiar with the Mortal Kombat like narrative, but like from my understanding, like that is an actual one where like characters do have relationships.
Oh yeah,
yes. Especially in they're children of characters.
Yeah.
between characters. Yeah.
Like Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade like got married, had a kid, and broke up, and that is like a big part of their like dynamic is that they keep having to work together, even though they're like a divorced they're divorced and all that. It's fun, and I mean I will also say like it's like maybe like a positive thing here is that like Mortal Kombat has actually like definitely improved their character designs. Like if you look at Sonya Blade in Mortal Kombat 9, where she is just huge honkers, and then you look at her in Mortal Kombat 11, and like, you know, say what you will about her voice acting in Mortal Kombat 11, which is, you know, bad, but like her design is just like, oh hey, this is just like a fighting woman. Like she looked like, you know, they made her out to be attractive and all that, but she looks like a person, and I think that's pretty cool.
But like, yeah, like, you know, Milena and Kitana are like the biggest like things that are important. Like, you know, not only actually making them like appropriate to like what maybe ethnicity they should be, like actually Asian in some way or some Eastern, and you know, they still kept in line, like, yeah, they're supposed to be like the sexy, like one of the sexy characters, and they still kept it. I think like their design still makes sense to be that way, but also they actually made it practical, not just like, oh, their boobs are hanging out. That's not practical at all. They actually made them like appropriately, like kind of like ninja inspired and whatnot, but you know, there's still a sex appeal there, but it's like actually properly designed.
Thought about it.
Not like just
thought about it.
Yeah, it's thoughtful. Yep.
I don't know. Are there any other answers that y'all want to throw out there, or shall we move on?
I don't play a lot of fighting games. I only play Smash, and you can't sexualize any of those characters except Donkey Kong.
All right. An anonymous just sent in. just moving on. Anonymous sent in sexual Yu-Gi-Oh! They call me Vampire Sucker. Okay.
Well, I'm really happy for you, Anonymous, and I hope you have a nice life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that just a declaration?
I guess. I mean, I guess we could discuss what sexual Yu-Gi-Oh would be.
I don't want to do this, man.
Aren't there like obvious answers?
Would it just be like strip Yu-Gi-Oh?
Like the cards? Oh, the actual game playing. I thought you were referring to
that's
like,
what I was
sexy
thinking
cards.
of. You know, like I mean, you know, everyone has a card crush, but like I was just thinking like what sexual the card game Yu-Gi-Oh would be. I mean, I like all I could think of is just like, I don't know, like a strip poker kind of thing where like you take something off after every 1,000 life points. I don't know. Yeah,
like you're like, oh no, that's what. That's all I can think.
Oh no, your attack made my shirt fly off. Yeah.
You have to act it out. Oh gosh.
You have to do the like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I can't.
You say this, but like every single game is just going to be like, you know, a 1-turn KO, and then it's just over soon.
I guess so. Yeah, there's no.
That's just how the meta works.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh's a bit too fast these days. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to like do like sexual goat format.
No one wants to do that. I don't. What?
An alarming number of people still play that. So
I'm just like, I'm like putting these words together in my head, and I don't like the way it sounds.
Well, that's how it goes.
I can imagine maybe drawing, like, I don't know, you like, instead of playing the game, but using the cards as the basis for, like, you know, one of those things where they have, like, different games for, like, sexy, they're kind of, like, you know, dumb bachelor.
So it'd be like...
Games. So, like, using the cards as, like, a basis to, like, an idea or something, but I don't know how you would do that, because there's, like, such a
pot of greed would be, like, instead of draw 2 cards, it'd be, like... Slap 2 asses, like, slap 2 cheeks, I don't know.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Christ.
You know, but yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, like those die or card games that are meant for like, truth or dare challenges, whatnot. And there's different things you have to do on
graceful charity. You have to put on 3 pieces of clothing and take off 2. I don't know. I don't think people would want that then.
Yeah, that's
no,
an idea.
It would have to be take off 3 and add 2, I guess. I don't fucking know. I'm trying to I can't think of anything. That sounds very difficult. A lot of these Yu-Gi-Oh effects are very long. It'd be like, all right, so during the main phase, you can have 3 sucks of 2 different cocks, and then during the battle phase, you can kiss someone, but only if they say the magic phrase. Like, I don't know, there's too much. Yu-Gi-Oh's way too much.
But that's what I'm thinking of.
Yu-Gi-Oh is an entirely unsexual
It really is. It really is.
Set of rules.
Yeah, there's nothing going on there. It's as the Yu-Gi-Oh player, it is. You play Yu-Gi-Oh, it adds years to your virginity. Basically, it is not. Yeah. All right. Next question here is from.
Should we mention the elephant in the room?
What?
You know the one.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Well, next question.
No, please go ahead.
It's the Chooch podcast, baby. That's how it goes. Mighty Bosstones asks, which bug snack is the most sexual?
I did look up the bug snacks, and there is one called Weenie Worm, and another one called Weenie Worm Shy. So both of those.
I guess the sausage ones, yeah. That makes no sense. What else would it? I don't know.
I feel like I need to look at the images of the bug snacks again. They're like images of them. Hang on, bug snacks.
I looked up all of the bug snacks, and here's the thing: is that they're not necessarily horny because they're bug snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's this one called Queeble, and it just has a huge nose.
Yeah, that's one that I was probably gonna say. There's also the Cinnasnail, which is like a cinnamon bun snail, but you could always say that that's nut. You could always argue that.
Oh my god, it really does look like someone just nutted on a snail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, the cream of a cinnamon roll, but...
Right.
That's always...
There's also Roodle, which is like the carrot one,
Oh yeah, that long nose one is a little...
Yeah.
That's very dangerous.
Queeble.
See, I thought this was going to be sent to us with, like, the intention that we were going to make up some joke ones, but then it's like...
No.
You know what's weird? It's
they're
just looking at the bug snacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
There's a cockroach, which is...
Cockroach, yeah.
There's cockroach and cockroach Baja.
Good night, everybody.
Wait, what?
No, that was just just like a little joke. All right. We have a slightly more serious question here. I don't know if any of us are really equipped, even more unequipped to answer this one than the other ones, which is kind of funny. But Anonymous asks, how do you meet people in Final Fantasy XIV? I know people who have met their partners via the game, and I'm not quite sure how. Feels like I've got no clue how to socialize in this game and actually meet new people, especially since every FC, I don't know what that stands for.
It's a
friend club?
They're like guilds.
Something company.
Okay, friend company.
Yeah.
Is either super... It's either super...
Fun company.
Yeah. It's either super small, tight-knit, or fuck off large. I just want to meet a sexy lizard wife, please.
Oh, and who doesn't, really?
Who doesn't,
Oh, well, they're called free companies.
Okay, free
companies, that's right.
Yeah.
So,
okay,
you kind of send it on the... I don't want to say the wrong day, but it's like... We have a good amount of people on this site who play Final Fantasy XIV, and none of them are on this episode.
Yeah. Skull was going to be on here, but then his computer started fucking up, so, yeah.
Yeah. But also...
I mean, I guess we can comment from, like, a perspective of just maybe meeting people in online games.
Yeah.
I think that could still work, right? But I'm sure 14 has its own, like... It's the way its own social culture. It definitely has its own thing going on there.
We can't speak to that.
But,
yeah,
but
yeah, I used to play a lot of MMOs. I played a lot of Destiny, which is inherently not that social of a game.
Yeah.
Like, the PC version has text chat, and that makes it a little bit more social, but it's like, you go into that game with friends already. Like, you're not... Like, you might meet people raiding, but that's it. Like... You're not. I don't necessarily think people find friend groups in that, but it's like I played a lot of like older like free MMOs in the past, which were a little bit more like friendlier to just the aspect of hanging out. And the thing about that is like it really depends on the type of group of people you want to hang out with. If you are just looking to just meet random people, it's not that difficult to do. Like, I still play a lot of games where I'll just, like, walk up to people and I'll, like, turn on voice chat or something and just say, yo, what up? And just, like, see if that person will respond to me. And it's, like, it's usually from a place of, I just want to see how this person reacts, and not necessarily I want to make friends with these people. Like me and you, John, we've been playing a lot of like VR chat and just like meeting random people. And that kind of situation is like we're not necessarily making friends in that. Like, not to say we haven't, like, you've at least found one server of people, I think.
Those people are not friends.
Of course.
Those are not friends.
It's like, it is like an interesting experience, just like going up and meeting a random person and like just talking to them for a while. Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of thing you get in online spaces with a little bit more anonymity than you would get in like real life per se. Especially because a lot of those people just being in those online spaces is sort of an invitation to go and like, obviously not everyone is like inviting you to come and like say hi to them. But plenty of them, especially in something like VR chat, are specifically there to do that. I know there are free companies in Final Fantasy XIV specifically for meeting people, like, and those are probably pretty large and not very centralized, but it's like, you know, it's a place to start. Like, just say hi to people. Don't try to go into every encounter you can with someone with the intention of making a lifelong friend with them, because that's not going to happen all the time. But, you know, be nice and friendly towards people, and they'll be receptive to you and be, like, friendly to you as well. And then you might meet some people that way. That's, you know, how I've made some of my oldest friends. Like I, not to monopolize this so much, but, like, my earliest memories of being online are, like, going into fucking AOL RP chat rooms and just talking to people I never met before that way. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that kind of culture still exists. You can still find people, you can find a lot of creepy people, but you can still find people that way.
Maybe something that I would think about doing, again, cause like, I don't know, I'll be completely upfront in saying this, like, I have been having a lot of, like, trouble, like, forming new relationship with people lately, and it is something that I'm trying to work on, and, you know, it's tough.
Sure. It's a hard time to do it.
Especially now.
Even in lockdown,
mm-hmm.
like, even in lockdown, it's like, there are definitely a lot of people who are open to meeting online, mm-hmm. but, you know, meeting and dating especially is super hard right now.
Yeah. But, I mean, I guess what I would say is try seeing if there's free companies or just, like, groups or whatever of people that are into not just Final Fantasy, but see if you could find, like, a group that is specifically into, like, something else that you're into. So that way you have more than one topic to talk about. You know, you could talk to them about Final Fantasy, and then you could talk to them about, like, another game you like, another anime you like, you know, some, like, if you like sports, go into, like, a sport that you like, you know, something like that. It could help if you have more than one thing to talk about, because then you get to know them a little bit better. You have, you know, a better way to connect with people if it's not just over one thing. I think I would say that's probably a good idea, but I don't know. I mean, really, it's just about, you know, not second guessing yourself too much either, you know? And I guess I would also say, yeah, like Scott said it a little bit, but, you know, don't go into, like, events or anything specifically thinking you're going to make friends, and especially don't go in there being like, I need to find someone to date. That is definitely not what you should be doing with this. Like,
unless it's specifically a swingers dating thing.
Yeah, I mean,
everyone is there.
There are a lot of sexy. There's a lot of sexy RPers in the game.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
Some servers are better for ERP than others. Is how
right. Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you're specifically trying to just hook up, I feel like honestly, it would probably be way easier to hook up in Final Fantasy XIV than it would be to, like, find someone as a partner.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know, like,
it seems so.
Yeah, like, if you're just trying to do some ERP, you could like, fucking, you can't like swing your arms around without finding somebody, you know? But yeah.
You'll just run into it by accident.
Yeah,
anyway,
absolutely.
The moment you log in.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would just say, you know, be normal about it and try to find somebody that is, that you can connect with in multiple ways, not just, we both like Final Fantasy, because that is definitely not enough, I feel, to build a relationship off of.
I think a thing for me is, like, I would like to know how far in the game this person is in, because I think that helps a lot too, because if there's someone who hasn't even started the game, or if there's someone who's going to the game the first time, I think it helps to kind of, especially for an online game, especially for a game where it revolves around a community, and you actually do have to play with other people. Like, this is a sort of MMO where that really is significant compared to some other MMOs I played where you can just enjoy it from a single player experience, but it seems like this is a game where you really do work in groups a lot. Like, if there's a sort of, like, mentor and you, like, relationship that you can establish, because and this is not an MMO.
Yeah.
But this is not an MMO going into my experience, but, like, one of the biggest, like, first online friendships I ever developed was through Neopets. Of course I lied about my age to get in the forums. You had to have been 13.
Yeah, of course.
Shit like that. I was actually 11, whatever. But then there was this girl who was, like, maybe at that point, she was a little older than me. At that point in time, she was, like, 14 or 15. But I made friends with her, and she was one of those people who was, like, one of those older, she was an older member at that point in time, like, a few years, she had an account with more experience and whatnot, and has done more things. And it was one of those things where, like, she was helping me and stuff, and then I went on my way to just ask her more things, and, like, I think I established, like, regular communication with her at that point, like, oh, okay, we, like, friend request each other, and then from that point on, yeah, we became friends that way. It was because I needed help, essentially.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if you're a new player coming in, there's definitely so many venues where, and again, free companies designed specifically to help train new players as well. So in such a way, those are free companies too, where I think you're not going to stay long in them because they're the purpose of just building you up. But I don't know. I'm not familiar with how the dynamics work. But
what's the term for new players in FF14? Sprouts? Is that it?
Do they call them that?
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah, it's like a thing that pops up over your head.
Yeah.
If you're a new player, you're
like
called
a sprout.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I will say, though, like, something that you mentioned, LV, that is true, though. Like, yeah, if you are, like, kind of newer into the game, it would probably be a good idea to, like, maybe seek out one of those mentor people, and then they could maybe introduce you to their friend.
Yeah, exactly. If you're seeking out people, if you're seeking out help anyway, like, yeah, that's a good way to meet people. And then if that person's not interested in you, but they might know people, etc., it's just going to be like a network that they can help introduce you, and they can help, like, get you more situated in either an FC or just their friend group, etc. And, like, that could be an easy, like, not easy, but, like, that could be one of many steps you can do to take in when it comes to, like, opening up your social network in Final Fantasy, in any online game. And yeah, I still, that girl and I don't really talk that much anymore, but I follow her Instagram and stuff, and we once in a while, like, interact with each other, but we don't, like, again, like, neither of us are on Neopets anymore, right?
Sure.
But it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy just following her all these years, and now she has a kid, I think. I don't know whose kid that is. That appears her post, but I think she has a kid. But yeah, it's just insane. That's
fun,
really
though.
Nice. It's a really nice internet memory that stays with me. And she's really cool, too. But yeah. That's a way to do it. Just the whole, like, natural process of, like, yeah, you're probably going to seek out people anyway for a game that encourages that. So it could probably just naturally happen that way and lead into something.
Totally. Anonymous asks, has a romance in a video game ever stirred real emotion in you?
Oh, I think so for sure. Like,
yeah, totally.
It's kind of hard to find examples because, like, I think romance in games is largely not done super well, but there's
right.
But there's still good examples out there. This is not going to sound surprising from me, but, like, I really enjoyed a lot of the romances in, like, Fire Emblem Three Houses. Some of them felt like, some of those relationships felt like way more natural than others, and the way they develop is really good. I also really loved the relationship between, what the hell is his name? Artyom and his wife in Metro Exodus, where like, so, what the hell is her name? I think it's just Anya. But like, the way they get together in I think it's Last Light was the last one. The way they get together is not necessarily, like, super well done, and is kind of like maybe a little problematic, but they they do it way better in Metro Exodus, because at that point their relationship is established. Like, they've already been married for a while, and what happens in the game is, like, you'll have, like, these downtime sections where you'll just be like, so your entire team is, like, on a train that's moving, and, like, the downtime sections are like, okay, you're in the train and you're just, like, doing random stuff with people. And the stuff you can do with your wife is you will, there are these little animations you can do where, like, you can just, like, sit with your wife, and, like, you have options of, like, you know, while she's talking to you about all of her anxieties and everything that's going on and this big situation that they're in, like, you have a bunch of, like, different contextual animations you can do, like stroking her hair and stuff, and, like, at like, you know, leaning in for a kiss and stuff. And it's these, like, little small romantic moments that, like, are not necessarily, like, they're not, like, something you do to get the best score. Mm-hmm. It's, like, it's stuff you do because it feels natural in the moment, and you want to, like, as someone, as, like, an active participant in this relationship, you want to express this kind of romance and this kind of gratitude. And I think Metro Exodus does that super well. It's a game where like the press X to kiss your wife actually means something, you know? and the meaning that it has is entirely reliant on what you put into it, but it's not unearned. It's that kind of stuff that works really well for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, like, looking through lists of games now to see if there's, like, any good romances in them that really hit me. Like, I don't know, like, dude, the fucking shit they do in FF7 Remake is, like, you know, it doesn't, like, go into full-on romance, because FF7 never does that. But it's, like, the way it leans into, like, the Cloud and Tifa versus Cloud and Aerith stuff is, like, super, super good. And it, like, it's really fun, and it's really flirty, and it all feels really cool and natural. Mm-hmm. And that kind of stuff rocks.
Sure. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything.
I also really loved, what are their names? I really loved the, like, primary relationship from The Missing. JJ's, what is her girlfriend's name? I can't remember it for the life of me. I'll have to look it up. But, like, please continue.
I don't know. I mean, maybe one that I could think of is, I don't know, I was kind of moved by how, like, the relationship with Rex and Pyra/Mithra was in Xenoblade 2. I thought that was pretty believable, and it was really nice seeing their relationship build over the course of that game. And I mean, I feel like that whole party feels just like a family, and you know, I feel like at first maybe they were thinking about doing, like, kind of like a love triangle thing, or hell, even maybe arguably a love square. But it kind of just settles into, like, hey, everyone loves each other in this party. They all care about each other. Like, you know, Rex and Pyra, it is definitely, like, a romantically, like, driven sort of thing by the end of that game. But, like, you definitely feel like oh no, everyone in this party just gives a shit and cares about each other, and, like, that was really believable.
I did look it up, but I have it now. The relationship between JJ and Emily and The Missing, like, feels super natural, like, right out of the gate. Mm-hmm. And it's like, throughout the game they refer to each other as best friends, but it's like, it's really obvious there's, like, more of a relationship going on there. And, you know, that the game is touching on a lot of things it's like hinting towards that it doesn't necessarily want to, like, give away. Mm-hmm. And, you know, a lot of it reveals itself over the course of the story, but the fact that it starts off with this obvious relationship between the two of them, and ends with, like, and ends with them together as well, it feels really, really cool. That stuff really affected me. I'm reading the Wikipedia page and it says, there is a hinted crush between the two of them.
Yeah, all right. Elvie, did you answer any?
Yeah, this is hard because, again, I'm someone who plays a lot of dating sims, but then they're not, I actually don't feel, as weird as this, I don't feel too attached to a lot of them because a lot of these are like kind of relationships that are done out of your own agency as a player, so they kind of don't really stick in terms of like, oh yes, this was about, I'm someone who's not very much about like shipping things or having any sort of priority, like, yeah, this is the best couple period, whatever, I don't really, if something's canon, I'm like, okay, I just kind of accept it, even though I might disagree with it, but it is what it is, and I don't really think about other possibilities for that sort of pairing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot about how a lot of, especially JRPGs, like what was mentioned, that a lot of them have really great examples of, I think, familial love, like a lot of great found family, love that kind of develops across all the characters. So it's a little difficult even there for whenever there is any sort of hint in regards to romance that in the end kind of the whole group is what overrides that, especially the Dragon Quest games. The Dragon Quest games are great examples, I think, of like great party dynamics where in a sense they're like a family. I don't know, I'm having a hard time thinking of anything that stands out to me in particular in terms of like having that much of like a emotional impact where it's like, yes, this is great. And again, the issue where like if I'm trying to think about a lot of couples now in games, I'm like, no, that was still a little awkward, or like there was still a little weirdness there where I don't think the impact on what they were trying to do there was as strong as I thought it was looking back. So I don't know, this is like a hard answer for me. I don't know, actually.
Well,
it might come up.
Okay.
Though. It might come up in my head at some point.
We can move on. All right, here we go. We're back in it, folks. Anonymous asks, what video game protagonists are premature ejaculators besides Travis Touchdown?
That's a good question.
I mean, Dan Hibiki.
Sure.
Yeah.
This is strange because it's like, you don't necessarily want to stick this inside one kind of group, right? Like, this can go in so many different directions.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know, like, there's so many people it could be, but you would never know. Especially because all video game characters are jacked, huge people who are very sexy. Mm-hmm. I think Nathan Drake for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. He'd be like, no. I just love that this person just was like, you can't say Travis Touchdown.
Well, yeah, because it's obvious.
I know.
They want to challenge us.
It's still funny.
And this is a very challenging question.
This is a very challenging podcast.
This is the
we are challenging.
Yeah.
Out of all of the sex podcasts that I've done, this is definitely the hardest one. This one's really easy. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. But
you have to go fast.
Yeah. I'm craning my neck to look at my game collection here. What?
See, it's like, I feel like whenever I get to that point in a question like this, I'm like, I just don't have anything.
Luigi.
And then it sort of comes when...
No, that's not true at all.
You don't think so?
No, Luigi is probably great.
Okay.
He
Luigi,
probably is well controlled than you think.
Yeah.
Than you think.
Luigi takes his time.
Right. Right. He's careful, and that's actually within reason. Yeah.
Let's look at the Smash Ultimate roster and see where we go.
That's a great place to look.
God.
You have a big range of characters here, and a lot of these characters inspire you to look at others. Who of them just really, really brings it quick? I think Mr. Game & Watch.
Bubsy.
I could see it, but I don't want to think about it.
Okay.
I know you're like focusing on Smash right now, but I am so sorry, but like more than half of the Overwatch cast, like most of them, I am so, like, now that I think about it, like as much as there's so much like Overwatch probably has the most port of any modern video game right now. Yet they are not. None of them are realistic. I'm convinced most of them finish unfortunately way too early than they plan on. Yep. None of that porn out there is realistic because they're not paying attention to that. Yep. Reaper especially.
I just keep remembering the post, the Warrior Mail post specifically of those two Overwatch characters just bent over each other, and he says, taking a man's back, a true classic wrestling move.
Yeah, it was like, it's like Soldiers 76 fucking Reaper, and like, you know, it's very obvious.
The three big popular McCree, Reaper, and Soldier. Those three men.
Yeah, McCree especially. That dude has a belt that says BAMF on it.
I don't know. That's overconfident. Yep.
I have one that I feel like is confirmed by canon, and this is exciting to me. And that's gonna be Cloud Strife.
Probably, yeah.
If actually, you know what? If we're bringing up like 100% legitimate canon, Geralt.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because in the book in the books they very specifically have a scene where he has sex with, I think, Yennefer for like the first time in a while, and it like very specifically says that he nuts fast. Like it is 100% the case.
And those scenes in that game go very quickly.
Yeah,
they don't last very long.
No, Geralt just in and out.
But hey, that's you know, just does it.
There you go.
He has things to do. He really does. You know, he's busy.
Can't fuck right now. Need to hunt Griffin. I don't know why I put the Tony Zarrett like inflection on Geralt of Rivia. I am Witcher.
Geralt from Witcher series.
Geralt from Witcher 3.
God.
Geralt like sniffing like a big red line leading somewhere and then going, imposter is sus.
God. All right, let's see here. We got a lot of questions here. I think we could maybe skip some of these because we've been going for a bit.
I do kind of want to do this next one.
Okay, sure. Of the dating apps you've used, which one would you say is the best from Anonymous? I guess you might have some more to say on this one, Scott, because I'm just going to say I've tried a few dating apps and all of them have been bad. I have not. It has been no answers for John.
Sure.
And I've never used dating apps, so my only understanding.
Right?
Yeah. No, and all my relationships I never got in through dating apps. So, but like, my only experience with them is through hearing my friends complain about them. So that's the same sentiment for John. So that's my perspective.
Have a lot of experience with dating apps. So the thing about dating apps is like, I see a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people who go into them with like a lot of weird expectations, or also like no expectations, but just kind of better, but not necessarily how you want to go into it. Cause like the thing about dating apps is they're like essentially the best way to make them work is one, you can't just stick to one, because if you do that, then like you're just not like monopolizing the technology around you as best you can. Two,
it also seems like they have different communities, right?
Sort of, but not really. Right? like you would.
Often, what I hear is like,
you would think so, and it's like that's partially true, but a lot of the times when it comes to singles, like they're doing the same thing, which is like, I'm going to download these apps and I'm just going to
every single one of them.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And it's like, the thing about it is, like, one, you should definitely diversify. Two, if you're at the point where you're, like, looking for weird third-party ones because, like, you're not very successful on the ones you're on now, then, like, at that point, you just need to, like, step back. You need to step back, put down your phone, and not think about it for a while. You want to use Tinder. Tinder's the biggest one. You're gonna find a really broad range of people on there. I also use OkCupid as well, which is, like, I've had more success with it than I have anything else, but at the same time, it's also the thing that gives you the least, like, really the least amount of people, at least for me, and that's sort of like a blessing and a curse, because it's like, okay, I can like rest assured that the people that I'm seeing on this are, like, legitimate people and not just, like, the litany of bot accounts that you get on something like Tinder or Bumble. And that's the big kind of thing that works about OkCupid. The thing that doesn't work is the app. The app is terrible. Like, for some reason, I just don't get notifications of messages. Like, it's so strange. But, like, you want to stick to, like, I usually stick to the big three of, like, OkCupid, Tinder, and Bumble. The important thing you want to, like, really try and do is try to make I know this seems like such an obvious thing to say, but it's like, try to make your profile, like, appealing to people. And that is such, like, a hard, like, that is such an easy thing to say and hard thing to explain, because what's appealing is obviously going to differ between person to person, but there's, like, a lot of good rules that you can sort of place upon yourself in order to do better. Like, one, you should never, like, post a lot of self-deprecating stuff. Especially, I'm speaking about this from the perspective of, I'm a bi dude who is just trying to use these apps as best I can to find people. I'm in an area which, one, it's a lockdown, not a very good time to be dating. Two, there's just not that many single people compared to where I used to live. So it's like, it's very difficult to assume, that people are going to immediately get you the second they see you. So the important thing to do is try to stay positive about yourself. Don't self-deprecate on your profile. Try to use appealing pictures of yourself. If you don't take a lot of pictures, start taking tons of pictures. Start looking at yourself and start finding what you like about yourself. And, like, start trying to put that out into the world. Because, like, the second you put that out into the world and other people, like, comment on that and say, like, hey, you look good. It's like, yeah, cool, I look good. That rocks. That helps your confidence. It's like this. Once you can feel, if you can put out a profile that makes you feel, that expresses that you are confident without necessarily being arrogant, then that's a very positive place to be. And you're gonna find, like, a lot more people are attracted to that, and you're gonna get a lot more likes, and you're gonna start talking to a lot more people. So I tend to get, like, a pretty decent amount of likes, like, not trying to brag or anything. The thing I'm, like, bad at is maintaining conversation. It's weird, 'cause it's like, I have this impulse where, like, if someone gives off the impression that they don't want to talk to me anymore, like, if they start using, like, short answers, or they just start responding with, like, emoji and stuff, then in my head I'm like, okay, this person isn't really interested in me, I'm just gonna leave them alone, which isn't necessarily true. like if they liked you and are maintaining a conversation with you, then you should stick with that. Try to do it as best you can. It could be really difficult to do, because I don't know why, this is something that is, like, as far as I could tell, agnostic of gender. I have looked this up. I have like seen that this happen. I'm a man. I have seen this happen to women and like non-binary people as well. And it's just like, what will happen is like, you will start a conversation with someone. They will say like one word and then they will stop. And then like, that's it. Like people just for some reason are very shy with replying and you just gotta kind of live with it. That's the big thing about dating apps. You just kind of live with the negative stuff that happens on them until eventually you meet, like, you do talk to someone long enough and it's like, oh, this person seems really interested in me. Oh, this person wants to go out. Oh, I'm going out with this person. That rocks. And then you just take it from there. Like, it can be difficult and you gotta be patient and you gotta especially try not to be too desperate about it. If you find yourself on it every day, just swiping, and you literally get to the end of it and there's no one left, just put your phone down. Don't even try not to think about it for like a week and then come back to it when you feel like you're in a better place. That's like the best advice I can give about dating apps. Try your best. It's fucking hard out there for everyone.
I think, like, too, you kind of have to approach it in a critical way. Like, you do have to approach it like you're job seeking, because that's what it does sound like.
Sort of.
You are kind of like your profile's kind of like a resume. Don't be like putting your negative baggage on it. Be honest, right?
Yeah.
Be honest about who you are.
But again, you wanna say the big difference between that is like a resume is. Like, I'm gonna come off as like a worker, where in this, in a dating profile,
I want to come off as a normal, friendly person.
You want to come off as a person. Like my Tinder says like it says my height, I'm 6'3", because people like tall guys. I want to emphasize that I'm tall. A lot of people think I'm lying. That is not true. John knows that for sure.
Yeah, no, you're tall.
I say 6'3", he, him, pretty beardy praxis guy. Like that's like my opening thing there. And then my like line right after that is down for any kind of duel with any kind of weaponry, swords, javelins, horseback, gun, but will most likely lose. Like, trying to just say something funny that people like get interested in. And then I put like my hottest picture of myself up front, like,
Yeah, there you go. You gotta sell yourself.
My ending line is trying my best to cultivate a Guy Fieri-esque energy.
I think too, like, if there's also your friends you can really trust intimate stuff like this, you should also have them look at your profile. Like, that's what again, as someone from the outside, I have some of my friends show off their profile. I'm like, oh, is this okay? And like, yeah. And I'm like, your friends would suss out, like, are you being genuine or not? Mm-hmm. They know you best. Like, oh, are you trying too hard to appeal someone? Like, or they can sense if you're being too fake, like, I think that's like a good source of support you can go to in terms of, making sure like you're presenting your best self, and you just want to present your most natural self because you don't want to, you want to be with someone you want to trust, and you want to establish that same thing, right? You want to be genuine.
Yeah. The thing about friends too is sometimes friends are very nice, and that's good. It's good to have nice friends, but at the same time, if you like try to find like a mutual you don't talk to very much, but like you're friendly with on Twitter or something, like someone who's a little bit more removed from your friend group, and thus like a little bit more available to be a little brutally honest. Because if you have something on there that's like, your friends know you. So like they read this thing and they're like, aha, that's the funny thing you do. But it's like, if you don't necessarily know if that's something that flies, like you don't have a good enough sense for it, like try to find people, like don't push yourself upon people, obviously, but like try to find people you have a friendly rapport with who aren't necessarily your best friends. Ask like, hey, can I fly this by you? Can I see what you think? And then see what they say. Let people be brutally honest with you and be able to take any kind of criticism. Like, people are not there to be mean to you unless they're assholes. In which case, why are they your friends? Get rid of them. Right.
Yeah. You might be like, sharing the sense of, like, you might be making a joke where, it's not problematic, but it can be still read as potentially off-putting to someone, like, oh, that's a little weird, and then they just might think you're weird on it. But like, no, that's just your sense of humor, and there's nothing wrong with that once you get to know you. But or something like, yeah, you might have certain isms about you that are like, oh, it probably does not read well in text form, or like it doesn't read well to someone who doesn't know you. Just stuff like that. You're right. It does also help to have like that more detached perspective to kind of see what does this look like to a stranger.
Mm-hmm. Like I think about that kind of stuff a lot. Like, I personally don't wear, like, any shirts that depict any kind of violence on them. Like, because I don't want to give off the impression that I'm just, like, a dude who loves fucking blood and guts to strangers who don't, who don't know me. It's like, if you can be that kind of critical with yourself, then you can, like, get in a spot where you can, like, suss out the kinds of things that you feel comfortable with putting out in the world.
All right.
And also don't follow pickup artistry. That's fake. It's all bullshit.
Okay.
And misogynistic. Mostly. Really bad. There are women too, but like it's mostly leaning on terrible misogyny also. So bad.
All right. Well, I think we let's do one last one and we'll wrap this up.
Oh, there's so many good ones.
There are a lot of good ones, but I think we should just do one last one, a personal question for us all. Anonymous asks, name a childhood and current video game crush, and how have your tastes changed?
Can I be perfectly honest with you, the two of you, my friends?
Sure.
I don't have video game crushes.
Wow.
Okay.
Like, I can't think of, like, any characters that I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I love you. Like, I'm that way not just with, like, video games, but, like, just kind of, like, media in general. Even like, professional wrestling, which is, a fake sport with real people in it. It's like, I'm just not the type of person who projects those kinds of desires onto, like, characters, you know?
Yeah. I know, I agree. I think I'm never, at least right now, I definitely can't, off the top of my head, say, like, oh, I have crushes on, like, fictional characters. I can be like, oh, wow, they're like, that person's definitely hot, men and women, right?
Yeah.
Like, and they look attractive, they have attractive features to me, but, like, I don't think I've ever reached up an attachment where I'm like really obsessed with them and like, oh yeah, I have like fantasies about them, or like even the idea of like, oh, what if I held, just something even like safe, like, oh, what if we brushed aside one day? I've never thought about that. I've never thought about that about like any really like male fictional character or male actor. I've never thought about that really. I can say though, like, yeah, as a kid, Pokemon Red. Like, literally, just, like him, like, that's, I think that was me. I was into that. I was like, oh, wow, so mysterious, that was, but right now, no, I can't really think of a character that I'm attached to where I would consider it a crush, But I was into, like, a lot of the guy Pokemon characters, yeah.
I don't want to call it, like, a full-blown crush either, but, like, I definitely, that's the best way to put this. I definitely really liked Chiaki in Danganronpa 2. That's like the closest I've ever gotten to having a crush on a character.
Okay, so...
Yeah,
Hi, everybody.
We're here for you, and we support you.
When I was a kid, definitely, I feel like the first time that I was, like, really like, oh, damn, okay, I get it, was when I rented Mega Man Legends from Blockbuster, and Tron Bon fucking hit me like a truck.
Sure.
I still really like Mega Man Legends. I still like Tron. I'm not like into her like I was when I was younger, but like definitely that was like, oh, yeah, okay, this girl is mean, but also likes him. I like that concept. That's good. And then, my, I guess more current one is, I really like Elizabeth from Persona 3. She's really cute, and I like how fun she is. And, you know, I don't know, that's kind of my answer, I guess. I don't know where else I would want to go with that. There you go.
Dorothea was my favorite choice from Three Houses.
All right. There you go. Okay, well, I guess that does it.
Oh, I did fuck the Pope. That was great.
Okay.
Did I mention that?
There you go.
I finally finished all 4 routes of Three Houses, and in my final route, I married the Pope.
Congratulations.
This were good. It's very funny because it's like the way that like story ends, it's kind of left on like this weird cliffhanger of whether or not she's actually like alive anymore. but then I get to like the romance scene that I like picked, and it was hers, and it's like, oh, by the way, I'm fine. I'm just like pretty wounded is all. But anyways, I love you. And it's like, I love you too, the Pope. And then, you know what she does? Like right at the end so like at like the end of every story, like you give like the person you want to marry, like the ring your dad gave you. You know what she does? Yeah. She walks up and gives you her own ring.
Ooh.
Her own special ring.
Ooh.
And then you're like, wait a minute, the Pope. I have a ring too.
So you exchange rings?
Nice.
Like,
yeah, it's really good.
Oh, okay.
That's nice.
That's different, yeah.
But yeah, there you go, everybody. That's it. Thank you so much for sending in questions, but that is it for episode 69.5. Whew. That was a long one, but we got through it. We answered a bunch of questions. We delved deep. I think we really went for it this episode. So yeah, thank you both for joining me on this excursion.
It was very fun.
Yes.
I'm glad I finally got to 69 with my friends, and now we're all mutually satisfied.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, of course, if you want to continue to follow us and support us, we have our Twitter at VGChooChoo. We have our Tumblr, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. We have our YouTube channel, which you can find if you just search up Video Game Choo Choo on YouTube. I think you can also just do youtube.com/channel/Video Game Choo Choo, I'm pretty sure. That might work. I don't know. Just search it. That I know works. And for Twitch, twitch.tv/VGChooChoo. We haven't really used it anytime recently, but you know what? It's still there. If you want to support us, you can go to patreon.com/VGCC and just donate $3 a month. And you'll get access to 2 episodes of Chooch Gotcha Unlimited Trainworks a whole week early. And maybe some more stuff in the future. Who knows? I don't. I really don't. We'll see. And you can hang out with us on Discord. If you go to thegamezone.zone, you type that into your web browser and it'll bring you straight there. You can hang out with us, talk about all kinds of dumb shit, and have a great time. And, lastly, you can, listen to Melt Channel/Magic Circuit, who made our theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. You can support them by going to meltchannel.bandcamp.com or magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. And, buy up their stuff. It's all good. Now, where can we find you folks? Scott, where can we find you?
I'm Scott Blah on Twitter. You can follow me. You don't have to follow me. I know Elvie never followed me back.
Wow.
Calling you out. I normally have like a million projects.
Your account is closed on and off. I don't even know when it exists.
What are you talking about? It is always there.
No, weren't you sometimes banned or something?
I was banned for a week. Oh, okay. That was it.
I feel like this happened more than once. Well, okay. All right.
I appreciate that you're trying to make excuses. It's okay. I normally have 8 million projects. I've kind of put them all on the side because Game of the Year was a lot. But I'll do stuff in the future. Wrestling on Air, we did our both Wrestling on Air and Shootcast Jabroni Delivery, the comedy wrestling podcast, and then the comedy wrestling tabletop podcast that I do. Both did very special Christmas episodes that you should give a listen to. Those are both very fun. I'm gonna start doing projects again in the future. I'm just trying to get back into that headspace.
Yeah, I think we all are trying to get back into it.
Yeah. I think the big thing that I'm like actually trying to sit down and work on right now, which I'm not going to say much about, but the Golden Girls Take Manhattan DX coming winter 2021. And I'm a writer on that game and level designer.
Oh, shit.
It's weird. I'm in a weird spot with that
Claim
game
your
right
titles.
now. I just wanted to be a writer, but I came up with so many ideas where it's like, hey, we should set up the level this way, so like a player goes through and they do this and all this stuff, and then Grawley just said, hey, do you just want to be like a primary level designer? And I'm like, maybe? I don't know. It's weird, a weird project. It's in a great spot, honestly. Like the engine is perfect. Like we have a game. We just don't really have a lot of content, and that's what we're working on right now. We're trying to finish content, and we're trying to get it done by the end of the year.
All right.
That's really great to hear. Yeah, it's a good spot.
How about you, Elby?
I'm on Twitter. Apparently, I don't follow everyone, so at LB Mayparty, you can find me there. I post art, I post other things. I myself am like working on games right now. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it though, but they're not big deal. But again, mostly I can't talk about it because I don't know what place we are in.
We're not
in terms of, not a bad thing. It's just we're super early where it's like I don't think it's great for me to talk about it, and like what if it doesn't happen?
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but just like
realistic.
Yeah,
but follow Westeria Games on itch.io. Or what? Yeah. So there's cute stuff already made by this collective I'm part of now, where I'm not part of those projects, but we got some stuff coming. So yeah, it's very cute stuff.
Ours isn't necessarily NDA'd. It's just like we don't know when we're gonna fucking finish it.
I think this is just wow, independent game design. We don't know what we're doing. Why we don't. Which I guess is the beauty of it, where it's like, okay, at least it's a shared suffering experience.
And you can find me at
Can we end? No, go ahead.
You can find me at JOHN_MICHONSKI on Twitter. That's me. That's it.
John, can we end on this very last question?
Sure, yeah. Okay. We got we have an anonymous Tumblr user who just sent in the question. Come?
All right.
That's it.
All right.
Sure.
Leave you with that head scratcher. Yeah.
That's the end. That's what happens. That's it. You're done. I think that's appropriate. Yeah.
Well,
if not, I think you should check like what's wrong.
Yeah,
and address
you don't necessarily need to. It's okay. You're finished.
Yeah, you don't need to, but if you feel weird, check that.
See if you're having problems with your meds or something, Yes. All right, well, thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back next week with a far less horny episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. So long.
Hubba hubba.